over again. Every time they get a double, one of those players on that stage yells and just tells them all to push forward. They're executing on these scoring attempts instantly off of kills, and that's the main difference maker with these guys.
It's definitely a scary looking OpTic Gaming, that's for sure. Envy bowing out, of course, they're going to take third place, but there is still one hurdle for OpTic Gaming. Of course, that's going to be eUnited. We'll see that matchup in just a little bit. Before we get there, though, we should take a look at a video, I should say, of MLG's enhanced viewing experience. Let's take a look at Eve. Of course, on Eve, you have those up-to-date event statistics. You got your score streak prediction game as well, which is actually a surprising amount of fun, that's for sure. And source level quality, of course, so make sure you check that out. You can see all the action, mlg.tv/COD. But as we said, OpTic Gaming, I mean, they made this epic losers bracket run. You heard from Krim in his post-game interview. Apparently, the success to Hardpoint is camping. I didn't know. I'm thinking maybe we try and form a squad. We try and get ready for the LAN.
That's a Krim answer, right?
Right? Oh, you know, we should just say live, so we just started to camp. Of course, there's a lot more to it than that, Chance. Their hardpoint game has just tremendously improved throughout this losers bracket run.
Yeah, and the point I think he was really trying to drive home is those final 10 seconds. You don't want to have any stupid deaths. You don't need to challenge any gunfights when you're the one milking the hill time. You don't need to get ahead of yourself. So if you're in the hill, if you're in a spot where only thing you need to do is stay alive, just don't bother challenging, just camp, get those final seconds before you rotate. So again, it's more than just sitting in corners. There's a lot that goes into hardpoint. And again, I think the most important thing for OpTic Gaming was that trade efficiency that they had. I think it was second to none that game.
So a fantastic answer. Just camp, that's all you need to do.
Well, yeah,
We'll take a look now at OpTic Gaming's tournament progression so far. A look at the teams they've played, and obviously the roster. I mean, they start off at winners bracket round 1, a loss to Team Envious. They beat Elevate, they beat Panda, they beat FaZe, they beat Luminosity, they beat Team Envious. I mean, that's a lot of big names they've beaten today, team.
Panda should have beat him, to be honest. I'm going to go back to that round 11 again. It's unbelievable stuff. Panda
it's a 5-2 lead.
That game, but you know, you have to give OpTic credit for having, you know, the overall charisma to bounce back from that. Karma was able to win that round 11 for them, and they just sort of took off from then on. So they seem like an unstoppable force right now. eUnited, they've come over every hurdle. They've proved us wrong in every sort of way, especially me. But this is sort of the final boss in a sense.
Yeah, and you brought up a fantastic point. Just to kind of build on that analogy, the final boss for eUnited. I mean, yes, you proved us all wrong. We can all raise our hands up and said, yep, they came out. A lot of people thought they were online warriors. No, they performed at LAN. They've beaten world champs in Envy, not once, twice. They look absolutely phenomenal. But the one thing they haven't done yet is played against the crowd. The first couple of times we saw them on the main stage, their first map looked a little shaky, it's fair to say. They dropped a couple of hard points. But the OpTic Gaming crowd now, the crowd is real. The atmosphere, honestly, in that last game was electric. As soon as Scump got that uplink score, the crowd goes wild. How do you think eUnited is going to deal with that? Because you're a player you've dealt with that. You've dealt on the opposite side of the crowd.
They've been waiting a little while as well. OpTic may be able to catch them a bit off guard in these early maps. eUnited needs to be careful. And you see, like, they've played against some very tough opponents, but they haven't played up against a fired up OpTic Gaming, right? Yep. Add that to the crowd. There's so much momentum going against you. They cannot have a slow start. But you have to give credit where credit is due. Yep. Bristini and Gunless have looked like easily top 5 players. I feel like it's doing them a disservice. Gunless has looked like the best player, in my opinion. If he can continue those camo plays, the clutches in search and destroy, I won't be surprised if they can take this.
As you said, though, it's the final boss, essentially, for eUnited. Can they close it out? Speaking of eUnited, though, we should take a look at their exact road to Championship Sunday. United definitely with the potential to become the CWL Atlanta champions. Something I didn't think I would be saying coming into the event, but they put themselves in a fantastic position. Of course, one of the players from OpTic Gaming who's been having a fantastic Sunday Momo, it's Formal. This guy has just turned up to a complete another level.
Yeah, it's not just in-game as well. That's the thing with Formal is, we're very much used to seeing Formal drop 30 bombs, you know, go kind of double digits in search and destroy, but we're seeing this kind of fierce, aggressive Formal who not only is getting the team hyped, not only is kind of doing all the communication, but after the games that they're winning, he's standing up, he's getting in the face of the people that he's just knocked out. He's telling them to get out. He's telling them that they choked. They're telling that OpTic Gaming, they're here to win, and that's a Formal that I personally have never seen. I've never seen Formal kind of act like that. Previously, like when he was on Envy, for example, you know, he was just kind of the chilled out guy, you know, the cool, calm, collected one. And now we're seeing this new form, which I personally am enjoying a lot. If he goes in with the same intensity, and like you said, if eUnited start off slow, Formal might eat them alive.
Oh, he definitely has the potential to do just that. That's the type of player he is. And as you said, he's had a fantastic Sunday. But let's take a look at Formal's road to Championship Sunday. I think it's fair to say Formal has played like that control freak MVP all weekend long, but it's those performances on Championship Sunday, team, they're the ones which really stand out.
Sunday's the only day that matters, in my opinion. So the fact that he's able to continue that on into today and really lead them on a vocal level, like Momo said, we're not really used to seeing this fierce, this hyped up Formal after every single game, but it's every double kill really, and now it seems like the entire team is alive in that sense. So when OpTic Gaming, we've seen it time and time again, when they start rolling, we're finally starting to see it in the games as well. The scores get out of hand very quickly.
Right.
It's because they're hyped up.
Yeah, it's really the perfect point. It's impossible to evaluate, really. You can't put in its statistics. It's only stuff that you can kind of be a part of and witness. But again, Formal and Scump have been performing well the entire tournament. But again, Crim and Karma have been a bit behind until today. And that goes down to what Formal just brings to the table, constantly picking his other teammates up, getting them hype. And again, when you have a hype Crim6, a hype Scumpy, that can be absolutely terrifying for you. So again, the factor and the tremendous amount of just potential that Formal is bringing to this team, it's just incredible.
I feel like there is a concern, though, if you are an OpTic Gaming fan. Obviously, now you have to beat eUnited twice. eUnited are actually yet to drop a series at all. They've looked phenomenal. Now you have to go and win 2 best-of-5s. Are they running out of steam, or is there a potential for them to run out of steam, Memo? Have they played too many games?
I don't think eUnited will run out of steam. I think
will OpTic Gaming run out of steam?
Oh, I mean, OpTic Gaming, I think they've been here. I don't even want to put a number on it, how many times they've been here. Run out of steam, I don't think is a problem for OpTic Gaming. I think for the real problem that could come up is if eUnited let that 5th man get under their skin, that 5th man be in the crowd here. eUnited, you know, they've got, you know, experience in Silly, but they've got 3 very new, inexperienced players. They've proven on main stage they can handle the pressure. They did it against Envious, but OpTic Gaming sometimes, I mean, we hear these guys, they get a little excited.
I think the one thing which is going to be crucial in this matchup is going to be the neutrals. Okay, obviously OpTic Gaming has a big fan support, but we've seen a lot of fans for other organizations come out. Like Panda had massive fans, FaZe had massive fans. I think if they're going to have a good chance of trying to rally that crowd and maybe make a 50-50 like we've seen in previous tournaments, they need the neutrals on their side. If they don't get that neutral fan support who start cheering when they start making plays, this could be a pretty rough series. There's definitely potential for that, right, T?
It can be nerve-wracking, but you can use that energy to your advantage. You want to piss all those people off if you're on the opposition. Obviously, you know, I've played against that multiple times in my career, and you just use it to your advantage in whatever way you can. Yes, it's loud. Yes, it can be intimidating, but you, as a competitor at this level, this is a grand final. If you're thinking about something like that in a negative way, you don't deserve to be up there.
Very, very good point, T. Very, very good point. For now, though, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we return, prime time and the CWL Atlanta Open comes to an end. It's the grand final time, OpTic Gaming versus eUnited. Championship Sunday here at the Call of Duty World League.
Atlanta, are you ready? Oh my God! Saying, get out of my lobby! eUnited right now, they just look like a championship caliber team. But right now, all signs pointing towards an OpTic Gaming win. The gunless gets Crypt 6 lights up the kill feed.
It's grand final times here at the CWL Atlanta Open. On one side, OpTic Gaming, the Green Wall, going toe-to-toe with eUnited, a team yet to drop a series here at this event. Going to go down the line real quick for predictions before we get this one started. Momo, who is the CWL champion?
OpTic Gaming, 3-1, 3-0.
Chance?
It's tough. eUnited second series, they get off to a slow start, bounce back, and it's only because of insane clutches.
Okay, insane clutches you're saying, so split 1-1. Teep, you've been pretty right all event. Which way are you leaning?
I don't think you stop OpTic right now. 3-2, 3-0.
3-2, 3-0. Well, you've heard it from my expert analysis guys. They've been pretty much correct all weekend long. We'll see how this one goes. For now, we can send it down to our wonderful casters. Make sure you're wearing your sunglasses, though. Maven's wearing his yellow jacket.
How's everybody doing? It's grand finals time. OpTic Gaming trying to get it done. It's been a crazy, crazy run for them. eUnited, they've been crushing.
Yeah, they've coasted their way to the final. I mean, they've gone through some very good teams, but like the guys were saying, they have not dropped a series yet. Not dropped many maps really at all.
It sort of feels like David versus Goliath, right? I mean, you have OpTic, the runs they've had, eUnited, the newcomers. Like,
I feel like coming into this, it's been eUnited versus everybody. I mean, it's been a lot of, the community saying they're not going to get it done at LAN. They've proven them wrong. A lot of the other pros, they're online, they're just joining us in the 2Ks. It won't happen. It won't happen. It definitely has happened here.
Yeah.
In Atlanta. So I feel like it's been a lot of them against everybody else. And Silly versus Formal, it's going to be a pretty interesting match to see. Evidently, they've been going back at each other for a while now.
Yeah, I was told if you're in the 8s chat, I guess with the pro players, it is a known thing. These two go at each other. So it'll be interesting to see if we see some shooting of the bodies, some trash talk. But here we go. Make some noise. Game 1 of the grand final.
Nah, it seems like going to get a restart here.
Almost game 1.
Almost game 1. We almost made it to game 1, but just to kind of give you historical reference of what this would mean for OpTic to make a comeback like this, it is very rare. I know FaZe during Advanced Warfare Season 3, they did it to OpTic. The last time OpTic did it, I was talking to Merc in the back. I believe it was 2011. They got last in their pool, and they're able to make a comeback. So Complexity, UGC, Niagara, they beat Envy in 2 best-of-5s, 3-0, 3-0. So it's really rare. Only a few times this has ever happened.
And I think it was Momo said he's not too worried about them running out of gas. That is a concern for me. I feel like if this first series goes the distance, let's say OpTic wins it in 5. We saw, what was it, Orlando, where Envy, it was Envy OpTic. Envy was able to take 1 in 5, and then went to
OpTic 3-0.
Yes. A lot of times, if that's the case, it just seems like a 3-0 comes there in the second match. We saw something similar at CWL London. For OpTic, I feel like it has to go the route that you heard kind of Teep talking about. Like, this needs to be a 3-0 early, 3-1. Like, it needs to get to that second series.
Yeah, worst case for eUnited is they get 3-0'd in this first one. Because then, the crowd is going to get charged up. It's your first loss. It's a really bad one. And you got to just figure everything out in a short time span. Because we don't take a long break between those 2 series. We kind of jump right back into it. So it's not a good sign if eUnited loses this one 3-0. Talking in the back with Silly a little bit. It's like, hey, if you lose this first one, it's got to go the distance. You got to take it there. If they lose this one early, it could be trouble.
And if you were watching, you probably heard me talk to Krim a little bit about it. He didn't enlighten us too much as to what that would make a difference. But, they scrimmed a lot. They basically scrimmed every night. These 2 teams were going at each other. eUnited didn't want to scrim Envy because they were in the same pool, and these 2 were going head-to-head. That's how okay, so you're experienced, you're a coach for a while. How would that play into this if you played this team a ton grinding to get to this point?
I mean, you're just comfortable with the other team's play style. I mean, obviously you can change things up, or maybe there's stuff you realize about the other team you don't practice against them specifically. You kind of hold against them when you go into a match like this. Right. And I imagine eUnited, they're pretty smart guys. You don't scrim OpTic every night and just kind of keep some notes on the side without keeping notes on the side, knowing that eventually you could end up playing them in a final. So I would not be surprised if there's stuff that eUnited knows about OpTic, and then OpTic knows about eUnited they can use against each other.
And I keep questioning. Now, I did think eUnited was going to make a deep run. I didn't believe the onliner Warriors.
You're always right.
I really thought, like 40% of the time. But I did keep questioning when the main stage effect was going to hit them. I thought maybe it would happen versus Splice Saturday. I thought maybe it would happen versus FaZe early today. It hasn't happened yet. I mean, surely if it's going to happen, it's going to be here, right? You have all the OpTic fans in attendance. It's the grand final. Or are they just, for some reason, immune to that stage?
I think obviously this match is going to be different than the others. You're dealing with a different beast with the OpTic Gaming crowd. The fans that they bring to the arena, they're very loud. And I think it's just really how they handle it. I know back on Cole, like when they used to get loud, we used to love it. Like we used to bask in it, like all the hate, when they were like booing and whatnot. Like we used to love it. Like that's the kind of thing we lived for. It's all depending on how eUnited kind of handles that.
Well, I feel like they kind of have to live for that. Just
you have
all the doubters that you've had around every single aspect of your game, that has to be part of it. But now we are going to be kicking off Retaliation Hardpoint. And again, when talking to Krim in that interview, I asked him what changed. Why have you been seeing some success in Hardpoint? I was incorrect because they did lose one to Luminosity, but they've been a lot better here. He said they've been camping.
I'm scared they go to you for hardpoint advice.
Yeah, I was cracking up because he literally goes, Maven, what are we doing wrong? And I start laughing. I'm like, buddy.
But you're back there downing Cheez-Its. It's like, I don't know what you're doing wrong.
I'm 7 bags of Cheez-Its in. I'm not taking notes on your hardpoint currently.
I actually think what they've changed since some losses earlier in the tournament is Formal has become their in-game leader. You can kind of see it when we go to the camera shots. He is the one telling this team where they need to go and when and why.
Well, here we go. It is your MLG Primetime Grand Final. OpTic eUnited.
We'll see here at the beginning. Obviously, it's going to be a fight for the bridge. Silly's all the way in the back with the NV4. Very good at range. They're going to give up some time to OpTic at the beginning, and now you see the push coming in from eUnited.
Well, let's see what Silly's able to do as he's getting closer and closer to gunfight here. He drops, and that's 3 down. Scump with 2, Karma with 2, and they get the early break to rock down some time here on bridge.
And you expect the United to come out shaky here early. I mean, these guys, they've been waiting for a long time for this match. OpTic having to make their way through losers with some long, grueling game 5s. So you expect a little bit of, not really nerves, just a little bit of rust from eUnited at the beginning.
And that's one of the things you talk about early in a series like this. When OpTic's been playing so much, obviously they're warm to the point they're on fire, right? How do you match that intensity that they have going? You just have to kind of weather the storm in game 1, right?
Yeah, I mean, how do you weather it? I mean, you break into the bridge with 3 players, and then you send 1 to the lower market to be able to pick this up, because look at where the spawns are coming in for eUnited. They're going to have control of this lower street. Just need to win this initial round of fights, and they're going to get right back into it.
And they won 1 in bedroom as well, so that is going to solidify them to get some time. You see the number 8 coming across, which is Pristini. He'll try to get the hotel hallway and get set up. He wins 1 there against Scump. Formal, on the other hand, for OpTic Gaming, yet to get on the board, an 0-3 start. Now, as much as he had been carrying sometimes in the respawns throughout the course of this event, you saw in the last series, really, I mean, he wasn't needed as much. It was the rest of the team stepping it up.
Yeah, and his search and destroy has actually been really, incredible at this event. You see a good break there from OpTic Gaming. They're not actually able to get into the hill just yet. Now you're going to see Karma start getting some time. But I do like how eUnited play this. In that bridge hardpoint weren't getting a lot of things done. They win some gunfights on the rotation. They slow some things down. But Karma picking up 1 kill here as 1 more player behind him going to win that gunfight as well. You see he's working his way towards streaks, working his way towards the abilities. 1 more kill for Karma inside the hardpoint. Caught there, and you do see the OpTic Gaming team on the rotation early.
And this is the key one, right? You get set up for Graveyard, and then the rotation to Broken. Nice shots over the top from Gunless. Talk to me about Gunless. You've got a good eye for talent, Matt. What makes him such a special player that seems to have come out of nowhere?
I mean, he doesn't really get phased by any moment. I mean, we've seen him make some incredible plays, very good use of his abilities, and he's just a very good overall team player. He doesn't seem like somebody, when you watch him putting himself in positions where he could be a little bit selfish. Seems to be just all for the team play.
Well, now it's going to be OpTic Gaming having to break. They get the early rotation, but quickly, eUnited able to break in. Now it's going to be on Scump. They have a 2-pronged attack as they're trying to push through here. Contested, trying to find the kill right in front. Nice shots there from Scump to close it out. And now you've got 20 seconds here to milk, and you're not going to see another hit. Look at the top of the minimap. You see where the spawn comes in. These final 20 through. Now you look at the number 1 on the minimap. That's going to be Karma. He's going to have an opportunity to make a play on Silly here in the back. These are the big gunfights when you're trying to fight for this back dock.
Yeah, but it's going to be 2 kills for OpTic, so it's going to be really Silly and Gunless over at this Broken Hill. Need to go huge. You see Gunless with 1, Silly with 1 earlier. It's going to be Krim towards the front of Broken. He's going to get taken out. So big kills there from Gunless and Silly, able to hold this down.
They do a good job holding either side of the street. Inside, though, it's Karma with 2 big ones. The 2-time champ breaks in. And all right, so look, it was OpTic to rotate early to Grave, gets broke almost immediately. It's then eUnited that rotates early to Broken setup, and it gets broke immediately by the other side. No one seems to be able to hold any kind of control for very long here.
Yeah, I mean, it's good plays by both teams. It just does not work out in their favor. You see one player coming across the bridge on the minimap right here to challenge Karma. He's able to win that as well. Currently on a 4 streak, Karma has actually played really big in the respawn game modes in the last 2 series from OpTic I've seen.
And he didn't have the best Friday and Saturday, some off games, but today he's been lights out as he continues to go. There's the 6, 25 off the bombardment. Damon Barlow looking to get set up here with full streaks, and there's a little Humpty Dumpty.
The bags are out. So you see it's going to be eUnited going to that hotel hallway. Fantastic plays by Karma, able to lock that down for OpTic Gaming. And they're a scary team. When he gets going, they're going to be very difficult to beat because you know at least Formal and Scump are going to play well. Formal starting to come back a little bit, having a really slow start to this game. But
Snapper, man. The snapper! Oh. 8 in a row. Fully streaked out. 15-6 is Karma as he is manhandling eUnited.
And you looked at this team coming in, OpTic Gaming, where could you take advantage of them? Karma has some off games playing in this role, in OpTic Gaming where he just does not have the luxury of being a top flight slayer. Not happening right now. 9 in a row for Karma.
He can do no wrong, and now doubling up their opponents, turning, burning, get out of my house. Pristini now gone. This is insane. This is vintage Karma.
Yeah, we have not seen this Karma in a very long time. It's good to see him perform well on the main stage, and now you can start to hear the fans. The Let's Go OpTic chants coming in as Karma is still on a roll, finally going to get cut down at 11 on the streak. But now eUnited, they get control of the hill. This is where you got to slow the pace of the game down. The fans start cheering, the pace of the play starts getting faster and faster. This is when things can get out of control for eUnited. They need to rotate early, slow things down, get back in this game.
And to be fair, these are the situations that eUnited has weathered, right? That's what got them to this point. They bend, but they don't break. And now they've got to fight back. You have a couple streaks going for the team, but a few drops, so it is going to be on Gunless now to try and build. Ways to go to that camo and a ways to go to get back in this game, but he is coming up behind one. Gets some hit markers, but not able to finish it. Backed up by Karma as a little bit of an unintentional bait and switch comes through.
Yeah, but sometimes, you do see with some newer players for these types of situations, it's always like, I have to make the play. You see them press a little bit too much. One guy trying to make a hero play, getting out of position. You don't want to see eUnited play like that. They've gotten here because of their great teamwork and great communication and obviously individual skill. You need to see them stick to that.
And you can see a little bit of, we've seen Scorchers pretty infrequently this weekend, I would say. And you see it on a couple of the lineups here, so they're kind of working towards streaks.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I haven't seen Scorchers really pulled out much.
Not really. I mean,
for the weekend.
No, for the side of OpTic Gaming, you do have those streaks on Karma, so look to see. They may give up Cathedral here at the beginning, use those streaks to get eUnited out of the hard point, but eUnited's definitely not out of it. Still potential to make this comeback. You do see Pristini trying to take out Karma over by the stairs. Scump going to take out Gunless, and it's all Silly trying to get this hill back.
Silly trying to fight, looking into bedroom, now backing out to try and help at topside market. Shots everywhere, but finally able to find it, but it's Formal. That will trade out the kill. Pristini on the other side, still alive. That bend but don't break mentality, trying to keep them in this one. 80 points out. It is scary, but not done yet. You saw the streaks there still with Karma. What do you need to do if you're eUnited, Matt? What can shift here?
It's going to be very difficult. I mean, obviously, eUnited needs to get control of Cathedral. They can't give a lot of this time up to OpTic, but OpTic does have the streaks on Karma. They do have active camo as well, so those are two great things to be able to break this.
Karma and Krim finding kills in the kill feed. They're set up nicely at Graveyard. Look how far the spawn out is coming. They're going to have to basically 4-hit bridge to try and make a play as Crimsix finds the last player in market. You've only got, one push here, really, with 45 seconds left? If they don't get this push, the game's likely over.
With the way they're playing right now, you have one really good push, and here come the streaks from Karma. He's not going to get anything for it. But you see players just flooding inside of the hard point. It's not going to work out. They realistically may even looking at the spawns coming in. You see everybody flooding one by one. They may not even get another really good push out of this.
You might see Karma off a spawn use the final streak here to close it out. He has camo to work with as well with 2:30 on the scoreboard. OpTic Gaming gets exactly what they need in game one. A big victory, a convincing victory to get the momentum through this series. I know it's not over yet, but God, it looks like they're shutting this down.
Yeah, I mean, 15 points needed. You're spawning over by Broken. You see it's going to be 2 players from eUnited on the bottom side of your minimap. having to do a lot of work. RC's drops, see Krim coming out to challenge Pristini. He wins the fight, but Pristini, the only one in his type of play where he could have gotten towards the hard point. It does not look like they are going to make it back, Maeve.
Silly's got a chance to break. He's going to drop. Everybody else flying through. Not there in time. OpTic takes your game 1 of the final.
In a pretty dominant fashion as well. 250 to 133. You know, after the first 2 hills, really, there was nothing really great for eUnited.
I mean, you had Karma saluting, bagging bodies before he even really got going. And from there, what was it, 11 streak he ends up going on? Just completely dominating. They never look back from that. And if he's going to play that way in this final, when they're all firing on all cylinders, they're unbeatable. It's when they don't play as a unit, when somebody lags behind that OpTic struggles, United's got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they seem to kind of righted the ship in terms of their hard point play. Did not look good earlier right there. That was a dominant performance from OpTic. But eUnited, you know, they were sitting on the sidelines for a while. You know, it takes a little bit to get back into the game, deal with the crowd, kind of get used to the noise level in your headset. Search and Destroy, the play slows down completely. It's a game mode that they can definitely win, hang in. And then you look at Uplink. eUnited is undefeated at Uplink so far in this tournament.
That's insane, and that's going to be maybe the big game in this first series, your swing game 3. But let's take a look at some of the highlights from game 1. We talked a lot about OpTic as, you know, we were on with Karma for what seemed like half the game. I mean, when you're on a streak like that, you got to highlight it. But what did eUnited maybe do right that they can carry on, or is it more all about what they did wrong?
Well, look, no, I think they did a lot right. I think they rotated early. They were getting control of the hard points, but it was just OpTic able to just muscle their way in. And then right here, I think this is where the game got out of hand, where OpTic, they had control, broke in, Karma was picking up kills, and you just saw one after one. I mean, there's nobody there to trade those kills out when Karma's picking up and broken, when we saw that on the replay a little bit earlier.
And what I didn't even notice, because we were so focused on Karma at the time, but during that, Formal actually hits a 5 streak as well, while Karma has a 9 going. That just means as a team, you're getting decimated. You're not finding any kills on the map, and it's a 2-man show as they continue to dominate. And they can't finally close it out here. We get over to Broken, and they are able to lock it down. But Scump and the gang, they're feeling good. Now, let's take a look at a heat map here from game 1. We can see where the damage was done. What stands out to you?
I mean, look, eUnited got a lot of time in that lower street, but Cathedral dominated by OpTic Gaming, and also over by Broken dominated by OpTic Gaming. 71% of the hill time when it was at Cathedral went in favor of OpTic, and 80% of it over in the Broken building went in favor of OpTic as well.
I think that's 88 there in Hotel Hallway. That's where Karma's streak started going off. Remember, that's when you saw the big one from Formal as well. I mean, the highlight of that is basically the entire map outside of Lower Street was OpTic.
And I feel like Karma's the most important player for OpTic Gaming to get going. You know, Krim, obviously, he knows his situation on this team. He needs to just fill the gaps, you know, play more objective, needs to pick up those situational kills. Formal and Scump, we both know they're top flight slayers. Karma, when he doesn't play well, I mean, even with, you know, Cole and some of his previous teams, he can get in his own head a little bit, whatnot. To see him get off to a good start, it's a great sign for OpTic fans.
Remember when he first joined this team and he was struggling? He was, I mean, S&D, he couldn't get anything going. They start to let him snipe and just play how he wanted to.
You can see it visibly get to him.
He starts to come alive. The frustration's not there. But that'll be game 1 for OpTic. Now, what can eUnited do in this search and destroy to get back into it? I mean, this has been a fantastic game mode for them as well. They've been very solid in the 2Ks and this, well, they've been solid in the 2Ks and just about everything. But is it falling on Gunless to get this going? Is it a full team effort for you?
I mean, Gunless is their playmaker, right? But I think Pristini, if you look at him, he's been probably their overall most consistent player in search and destroy up until this point. And just think, you know, obviously, Karma goes big in that round 11 against Panda earlier in the day in search and destroy. Since that, his tournament's been completely different. I mean, he's somebody who struggled the other day. He wins that 1v1. He has just taken that and just, you know, gone on a tear.
And think about that. It's basically, you know, one angle checked in that 1v1 from OpTic being done rounds and rounds ago.
It is the difference between fastball looking left and right.
Yeah, that really is it.
It's crazy.
Insane to think about. It's one of the more hype moments we've had this weekend, but I'm sure many to come here. I believe I saw Formal pulling out a sniper rifle, maybe one on the other side as well. I think that was Arcity, so a couple snipers here off the break. Search and destroy. Game 2, make some noise.
And obviously we talked about these two teams scrimming each other quite often leading up into this event. The teams do not practice S&D against each other, so both teams, you know, obviously do not know the other team's tendencies in this game mode.
All right, so if you're new to Search and Destroy on Crusher, this particular map, what kind of stands out for you the most here?
You know, going up to the top side of your mini-map, it's going to be very difficult to get into the A bomb site. Lots of close choke points. Now, coming out towards this outside here, this is where the offense can be their most efficient. They can go over towards B.
Well, Arcity's and Formal basically giving each other a haircut. Now going to push him with a pistol, spraying everywhere, not connecting. It's now Pristini, 1 versus 3. He sees 2, he's tagged up. Has to think about a different way to attack this, surely, as they know the angle he's currently holding. And instead of soaring at him and maybe feeding him a 2-piece, they group up, they play together, they get the bomb down. OpTic handily.
And with how eUnited needed to come out in this one, drawing first blood here in this round and losing it, not be a good start. Obviously, when you get that first blood, you get that man advantage. You need to turn that into round wins in S&D.
Well, you get that first blood, and you basically get nothing else. And whoever those shots were, that might be Formal over the top because he teed him up. We'll see it now. The final kill cam. Is that was a quick burst. Nice shots. Doesn't miss a bullet there as Pristini gets cut down.
And Formal is really, kind of their catalyst in Search and Destroy. He's been playing a ton of, game battles, S&D tournaments with, a lot of the Gosu Crew guys. So you do think, I know Formal does know the best strategies to use in this game.
I've followed Formal from back in, really, God, all the way back to Halo 3.
You've known him for a while.
He first started to make a name for himself. So all of you guys that know Formal is this Cali kid, quiet demeanor. That's not his only side. I've seen the cocky, kind of arrogant, I am better than you side of him.
The mean streak.
When he gets in that mode, he'll be the best in the game, man. He is absolutely terrifying. You've seen a bit of that this weekend. But now we are going to check on with Formal. He's going to cut down the corner. It's not going to be Scump and Karma trying to clutch up. They're pinching 2 players from opposite sides. He catches 1. It's now just Scump. 1 versus 2. 28 seconds to work to defuse. 1 in front. Trying to turn it into 1v1. What was that?
I think he thought he was going to kill him, stopped firing his gun, thought he put enough bullets in the player to take him out. But it's eUnited evening this one up at 1 round apiece. You see Pristini going with a melee and then some shots there. But talking a little bit about Formal, the little bit of more attitude we've seen from him today, I feel like this is what that team needed. Sometimes you win so much and, you lose. It's like, oh, well, we'll get the next one. We'll get the next one. It's been a long time where OpTic's been trying to get the next one. It's been a long time since this team has won something.
All right, well, off to the races we go. Tied up 1-1. Crim6 and Crew on offense, and Crim6 being hunted right now, it looks like on the minimap. But we'll get over to the bomb site. It's going to be Gunless getting some pressure, trying to stay alive. He has been the wonder kid all weekend long, tagged up, just trying to dodge bullets, dodge nades coming in from either side. Needs help from his teammates before he attempts to make a play. He's seen a couple here. He does push through. Gunless gets caught, though, and now it's going to be on Pristini. He's working the flank. Coming up behind the final player there in Crim6. He didn't finish it. He didn't finish it yet. Surely he's going to find him. He doesn't do it. It's now Crim6 in a 1v1. How does this happen? But he's pinched from both sides and will fall. eUnited gets it done.
Silly actually coming right out behind Gunless. Takes out 3 players there. Big round from Silly. Crim makes it pretty interesting towards the end, but
look how many bullets it took.
It's going to be Silly in the final kill cam. So Silly picks up the ace that round.
Big round from Silly, and they need that, because they have got to take this game too. Now, granted, they have 2 best-of-5s. If you're new to double elimination, you have a bit of a safety net here, as eUnited has just been torching through this event.
If eUnited wins this game, they got to feel pretty confident. I mean, they go into an uplink. They have not lost one yet, so it's a big map for OpTic Gaming. You see RC's taking a shot there at Formal. The sniper battle going down in the mid, but got to jump back on with Silly. He's working towards that payload ability and towards the streets.
That should be another kill coming through. That just, they almost run into Silly's bullets. And now it's just Formal. He has a sniper, a hit marker there. He still had 4 players to go through. But it is eUnited yet again. Gunless and squad getting it done here in the search and destroy. We'll see the final kill cam from Pristini as he takes 1 to the leg, but not enough to finish him.
And that is 3 straight rounds there for eUnited. In the first round that they end up losing, they get first blood. So that easily, they play that a little bit smarter. Could have went their way as well.
Search and destroy offense now for OpTic Gaming, trailing by a couple of rounds. If you did miss the game 1, it was a big win for OpTic, but now trying to keep control of the series. Nade comes in there on the wall run. They're playing it patient, but now looking to get forward. That's Karma pushed up already on the bomb site. Scump going to be backing him up as the engagements here will start to get hot and heavy. He slides across, and they're looking to fly. They're going to soar out. Gets 1 around the corner. 2nd in the back. Shots everywhere, but eventually gets it. Scump finds 2, and now it's Pristini having to find some magic here. He's already found 1. Ooh, nice shots there on the 2nd, but just not enough to close it out.
Yeah, he just needs to go a little bit faster on the flank. Obviously, you need to check your corners, make sure nobody's back there. But when OpTic pushes straight through, his teammates cannot stay alive long enough to make that an effective play.
Crim6 able to win that one-on-one gunfight. Just seeing the E6 guys focused up, trying to stay alive in this series. And what's it like, when you kind of have that extra series? Does it change your mentality to play, or you just have to focus on each map? I guess it kind of depends on the player, right?
I guess it kind of depends on the player. Personally, I think you need to just focus on each map, pretend like there's no second series. This is just a single limb kind of tournament. I don't think you can rely on having that backup second series.
How many times have I accidentally said E6 instead of eUnited?
I don't know. I only caught it once there.
It's old age. All right, Pristini, though, trying to work one side, Silly hitting the other. That's the Evo finding a kill. Now going to be 2 up, eUnited. Gunless and Pristini trying to make the plays. Backing down is Gunless. In behind is Pristini. One can't react in time. The second he has to use reactive, but he does stay alive, and now it's all on Scump. Scump pushes out, wins the first one-on-one, and he's got reactive. 20 seconds remaining. He has to work the defuse. He has to find the kill. You have so little time to work with. He has to perfectly hunt down Gunless here, and Gunless made a run for it. He sees him. Can he get back to it? Gets it. 9 seconds. 8 seconds. Bumps the wall. Not.
Nope. Did not have enough time. And I was going to say, if you were going to ask me if he should have used reactive, no, you definitely have to save that. It's an important round, but you can use that reactive, make for it next round, and you're still only down 1.
I thought for a second if he doesn't bump that wall, maybe gets to.
That's what I thought too.
It's hard to tell. I mean, maybe he needed another second, but that surely looked pretty darn.
It would have been close. It would have been a very close attempt.
All right, well, maybe a saving grace there for eUnited. All right, so 4-2 advantage. Offense back to OpTic Gaming. They have the reactive armor to work with. Let's see if they play around. This is Scump having a monster game. He's 8-3. They're going to go ahead and push through. They find one, but it does get traded out. Now it's all quickly. Pristini by himself in a 1 versus 2. Shut down in a 15-second round. OpTic firing back.
Yeah, eUnited tried the same exact push against FaZe. It ended up working in that matchup, but they hit 2 players on that wall run. The first player goes high. If he picks up one, great. If not, Pristini is there to trade that out effectively, and then they push the 2 players around the outer outskirts. OpTic Gaming, though, prepare for that.
They're ready to go. Anything you expect to be mixed up? Do we maybe see some hits to the opposite bomb site? We've seen all the action basically don't go down at B. Nothing, not a whole lot of love today. We've seen a round or 2, but for the most part, it's been towards outskirts. You see number 5 kind of playing up top. That's RC. He's by his lonesome. It's going to be a bloodbath here in front. You saw one go over the top. Gunless trying to locate him. He's going to dip out as his teammate gets first blooded. You see one soaring off the map from OpTic Gaming. A couple in behind. What do you do here if you're Gunless? You're getting chased down.
Well, Gunless just needs to stay alive. It's really RC is the one that needs to make the play here, but needs to wait. See if they can buddy up, and he's going to get out of dodge here. He's going to get actually tagged up from his left, so does not make it back over towards Gunless. And OpTic Gaming looking to take this round, tie it up. We did see Gunless with a sick 1v3 against FaZe, though. Not able to do it here. It's going to be Karma picking that up. Karma's currently on a 4 streak. If we go to Karma, you can see how close he is. Earning some score streaks. Not going to get them here. Will get the ability, though, probably going in the next round. Very close to it.
And I was about to say, Gunless, that situation he had with Camo, that he clutched that 1v3, he was, I think, 2 kills away or so from picking that up. If he gets it, though, into a 1v1, might be able to make the play. But OpTic, they band together, and they're able to find it here. We'll see if Karma can keep going on this streak as they continue to make the plays all tied up at 4-4. And you do see that Karma has that camo available. Scump has reactive. Those are round-winning abilities here.
You got to think, if eUnited on the offensive side of things, I mean, you've seen no resistance by OpTic Gaming over at the A-bomb site. I would not be surprised if they try and push that this next round. And Steeney playing this quarter, he gets caught off guard by Scump. Formal with another kill. Just like that, OpTic Gaming fights him gun on gun.
Yeah.
1 round away from taking map number 2.
I don't even know if they had to use anything there. I think you keep your reactive and your camo. The FTL jump almost catches him, but he's so tagged up that he's able to finish it. You go for the dagger here. Why don't you use both abilities to just close it out?
I think you maybe save one of them. I don't think you burn 2. I think you always need to at least save something for that round 11 if it does get there. You'd be kicking yourself if you do. So you do have the active camo available.
Look at the top right, just ability comparisons here. So Crim6 drops that Centurion. They want to do an A hit, maybe catch them off guard. Tags up a couple. Formal is able to find one. He's pushing through. Camo's in behind. He saw one below. Going to be able to find that as well. Now it's just going to be Gunless. By his lonesome. Full streak for 4. Carmine. It is done. 6-4. Game 2 goes the way of OpTic Gaming. They're making it look easy. They're getting to that second best of 5 quickly if they keep this up.
Yeah, it's not good for eUnited right now. They played very tough in the search and destroy. You saw them actually, jump out to a lead 3-1. OpTic Gaming just storm on back. It seemed like everything eUnited was trying to do, throw at them, the mid-wall run on the defensive side of things, that quick hit, just did not work out.
It seems like OpTic kind of all smiles right now. They know what they're capable of. They've won so many series to get here. How many was it? I think
6.
6 series.
It's a long day, man.
They've been playing since, what, 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. I mean, I think Scump was actually the first person I saw when I got in today. I was just going through some stats, just prepping myself for the games today, and I actually go back to the green room, and he's sitting there getting ready to go.
Well, certainly was ready to go as we'll take a look at some of the highlights here, and that's I mean, I don't know if Karma's necessarily been the MVP of the tournament, but certainly the MVP of this series thus far. Had a huge game 1, gets fully streaked out there, doesn't even need to use them, but has a monster game 2 as well.
Yeah, he played very well here in the Search and Destroy, and I think it was something you actually saw OpTic adjust to. Pristini just keep coming on these flanks. It was working early. You saw the adjustment by OpTic Gaming, always prepping to see if he was coming on those flanks.
Well, they're talking it over now as they get ready for the uplink, and you've talked about it a bit. What was the stat again? They haven't lost a single?
Yeah, eUnited has not lost a single uplink thus far, and they need a win in the worst way here because we talked about it going in to that second best of 5. You can't let OpTic Gaming just 3-0 you here and then go right into the next one. You need to extend this series as long as possible, try and get them a little bit tired and gassed.
Well, guys, after this quick break, we'll see if eUnited can answer back. Welcome back to the grand final. We've got a full venue here in Atlanta. And God, it looks like we're going to be seeing a second best of 5. It's not over yet, but like we talked about before the break, eUnited has been all but invincible in uplink.
Yeah, and I mean the series that they played against Splice, they go out 0-2 on the main stage. What kind of fuels that comeback? It's a big uplink game 3. I believe it was like 18-1 against Splice.
It was just a slaughter. That gets them going. They get in a groove and they come back, so they are no strangers to the reverse sweep. But I guess the one thing I'm weighing here is when does this, this streak for OpTic run into maybe a little bit of kind of running out of gas? Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe they're invincible. They're some of the greatest players of all time.
It doesn't look like it right now. I mean, you can't really say that, looking at the way they've been playing, that they're going to run out of gas anytime soon. You can see some of the top uplink performers this weekend. Formal, number 5, obviously the most notable in this matchup. And you do see Pristini and Gunless in the top 10 as well.
Yes, you got 2 players cracking the top 10. 6 stuff there from eUnited, a big part of the reason they've been able to remain undefeated. But can they do it against a hot and streaking OpTic? You know, this is one where if you're an eUnited fan, even if you know you have the second series, you want this to go the distance. You want this to go as long as possible. You're a little bit more refreshed. You've been waiting to play. Whereas OpTic, you feel like you're in a hurry to get to that second best of 5 and close out what is one of the longer days in your gaming careers.
Yeah, I mean, if you're OpTic Gaming, you know, we talked a lot about, eUnited coming into this map. You got to win it, extend the series, try and get it as long as possible. If you're OpTic, you win this map here, you 3-0 eUnited in the first one, you can... It's like a shark with the blood in the water, man. You can kind of feel this going in your way.
You know, okay, maybe this is a dumb question. I ask lots of those. But
yeah.
You know how we talked about how eUnited feels they have a lot to prove and how hungry they are to win. But part of me also wonders, like, how satisfied you are getting to second, like getting to the final sometimes when it's your first time. Whereas if you're OpTic, you have to be super hungry, too, because the bad stretch you've had, your bad performance at Vegas, going back to champs, you haven't had that kind of regroup event.
I don't think you can be happy with it. You know, the first event I played at in 2006, I got second. And it's like the worst feeling in the world. Like, you would rather end up just like out in the open bracket than get second and get that close. I think, obviously, the eUnited guys, they've never been in this position, so they really don't know that feeling yet. But I can imagine, the OpTic guys, they know how hard they've worked to get to this position. They do not want to go home with second place.
Right, feels like you just had this brutal day of grinding. All to come just a little bit short, but they're still rolling here. And now it's time for the Game 3 uplink. Can OpTic Gaming steal the first from eUnited?
It's going to be Krim going to this top window with the NV4. It's very important he takes this player out on the other side of things, but Silly wins that gunfight, so he's going to be able to look over his teammates. Could get drone control.
Nothing yet, but Scump the only one alive, so Arcity is able to move out here and get set up at mid-map. He does find Scump and get into the top window, and this is a good opportunity for a push. But look at that number 8, Crim6, flanking the whole way around the back. The question is, can he get here in time to stop a big play? The answer is yes. Shuts down 1, shuts down 2, shuts down 3 before getting shut down by the player in a window. 6 stuff from Crim6.
It's going to be Karma pushing through off of that Crim6 3-piece. Let's see if OpTic can get some points out of this. He's going to be able to get one. The drone going over by bike path. They should be able to convert this into at least a 1-point play.
So they're trying to get forward. Someone's got to grab the drone. That's going to be on Formal. Let's see if he can get up and over for the 1-point toss. He's blind, can barely see. Just a little bit high. Resets to mid-map.
That is unfortunate. OpTic had a lot of players there. A lot of pressure coming in. Karma trying to get in position for a 1-point play. Krim is there with him. He's going to knock it down. It's going to be OpTic getting points on the board first.
They strike first. Which is a scary scenario with the way these games have been going here for eUnited. Formal now watching these mid-tracks. Lines up the first player. There is a second at top one you see on X-Ray. That's going to be Arcity's gunning him there. That's going to feel good in the gunfight to be able to take him out there mid-map. You had one chance for offense, and they got shut down by the flank from Crim6. If that doesn't happen, they probably have a good chance to get off a 1-point toss. So you're still feeling okay. But the first push that they're able to really get kind of under the bridge there does not go in their favor. One more flanking behind is gunless. Can't turn, can't shoot through 2.
Yeah, but he's all alone. I mean, there's nobody else there with gunless. You just see eUnited just kind of going one by one right now. They need to just get together, make these good team plays happen. Silly with a big 2-piece up top. See the drone on the eUnited side of the map. That's going to be 3 dead for OpTic Gaming. This is where eUnited needs to go.
Well, they're trying to get a play forward, but there's 2 still at mid-map. Tagging up Arcity's, but he's managed to stay alive. Needs some help. And he's really the only one here as everyone else coming off a spawn, and ultimately he'll fall. You sort of feel like they're falling one by one mid-map, so they're never able to really get a nice setup going here. It's Silly with some nice shots. Finds the second. His hip fire is on point right now.
Yeah, there's nobody even going for the drone right now. I mean, you've seen it in OpTic's hands a few times throughout the game. You just have not seen eUnited outside of that one attempt to early really get a good push with the drone.
Well, Krim in a good position here to at least be annoying. He's 13-5 on a 4 streak. He's going to push from his right and also from Grandma's. He found one before ultimately the grenade comes through from Pristini. They try to back him up, but a little bit too good of a defensive stand there for eUnited as they shut it down. Karma, the last remaining player here on the offensive side of the map, and he will ultimately get closed out. But let's talk kind of generally here. With 3 minutes into this game, a 1-0 advantage for OpTic. Anything that really stands out to you from either side?
No, not really. I mean, OpTic with a good push at the beginning. Krim is playing very well. Double positive, 14-7. It's really, I mean, OpTic Gaming, they should actually have more points on the board. They had that miss by Formal, and they're able to, to convert off that to go back to mid-map, grab drone, and push it forward for the other 1-point play. So you think OpTic Gaming, that goes a little bit cleaner. Maybe they get some more points.
Well, who's that snuck in behind number 2 on your minimap? That's going to be Gunless, who was able to get behind the OpTic side. He got 1 kill before dropping, so not going to open up anything too much of in a big way. And you've still got Karma sitting mid-map, Formal looking over him. This is a low-scoring, slow-paced affair, but for the time being, favoring OpTic.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, you just see so much gunfire from window to window. Nobody's actually able to get into the mid-map and actually get hands on the drone. Now you see eUnited starting to push through. Silly has RCs directly in front of him. They're trying to get some of these kills in the OpTic Gaming base, push them back a little bit, but it's just not working out.
It hasn't yet. We've got 50 seconds left. Can eUnited get something on the board here? Maybe tie it up. Nice little crouch there as 2 will end up dropping. Arcity finds a kill. There was 1 pushing out of blue to his right. He's just trying to get forward. Now has the drone in hand, wrapping around the edge. There it is. Nice score. With 40 seconds left on the clock, and they're still finding kills in the base. Now they do shut it down. The last remaining player is Silly coming off a spawn. Can OpTic Gaming make a play here in the final 30? Grim6 trying to tag one in window, but it's his buddy Karma behind that does end up dropping. Goes over the top. The hipfire connects on Arcities, and maybe you've got a chance here to make a play, but there's no one actually around the drone, and now it's going to be Scump by himself. I don't think you've got enough time to make one last play. Hey, if somebody grabbed the drone, maybe you did for eUnited, actually. Yeah, I think you would actually get a 1-point toss off. They're going to grab it now. 5 seconds left, trying to get to the edge. Doesn't get underneath. It's going to be Arcities with it, but they are there to shut down the defense. We're going 1-1 to the half, baby.
Yeah, it was a big 1-point play, though, by Arcities towards the end. I mean, you needed some type of positivity for the side of eUnited going into the second half. I mean, if this is 1-0 with OpTic just kind of slaughtering you as you try and get the drone into their base, would not have been good. At least you can kind of ride maybe some of the positive vibes going into the second half.
You have to avoid this 3-0 at all costs. You have the second series, but you just need to delay this. At least get a win under your belt in the first series so you say, hey, we can play OpTic Gaming tough. eUnited seem to be the bane of Envy's existence. Seems to be the opposite here with OpTic eUnited.
Yeah, I mean, eUnited has faced a lot of adversity in terms of, going up against top competition throughout the entire tournament, some crazy game 5s, but they have not lost yet. I mean, they have not lost the game. They've not lost an uplink yet. You do see they get the drone early. It'll be interesting to see if they do end up losing this, how they bounce back. A 1-point throw wide left there from eUnited, and when you're just searching for positive moments and you're trying to get a lead here, you can't miss those 1-point plays. I mean, that could have been something huge for them.
Well, there's a couple things to note on the line here then. The first uplink they would lose, the first series they would lose. That might be a tough pill to swallow maybe on this stage. They felt invincible pretty much throughout the course of the tournament, but it is going to be OpTic Gaming pushing forward, but Arcities and Gunless have something to say about it. They clear out Courtyard. The only one remaining is going to be Scump, so Scump grabs the drone in hand, and he's going to try and make an individual play. Can't get the 1-point toss off. Didn't have a lot of help, but I don't hate the effort there to try and maybe just get one off, get a long throw through.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can do with the drone in that position. I mean, he had no teammate support, not going to be able to get it any further up the map, and see Pristini going to toss it from some yards. But look, all the arrows on the map are green. They're all converging on top of him. Now it's going to be OpTic Gaming with drone over by bike path side. They're starting to rack together some kills, trying to bring it down for some points.
Yeah, Crim6 gets hit with a jammer there. Otherwise, he's in a pretty key position to make a play. Scump now in the back trying to do it. Karma has the drone, wants to make it, slides across. Tag can't get it. Everyone from OpTic down. Good defensive hold there from eUnited.
We're still at a 1-1 game here. So obviously, uplink outside of precincts, we see a lot of low-scoring affairs. This one, definitely one of the more lower-scoring ones we've seen all weekend long. So you see Gunless going to throw the drone forward, try and push it onto the OpTic side of the map. But when you see eUnited, they throw the drone for some yards. It's great if you have some teammates there to slay out. Nobody there in those situations.
And I'll tell you what, with this coming down to the wire, I've seen a lot of clutch plays, specifically from Gunless, at the end of uplinks. Last second score against FaZe. Last second score against Envy and pool play. They've done it a lot, and when he gets camo, look how close he's actually getting to it. 75% of the way there. You think that he might be the one to make the separation, but now it's going to be Scump. Passes it forward. They look for the dunk. They all get cut down. Scump can get it through. Tries to get shut down again. The goal line defense for eUnited is too strong.
And you look, it's going to be the 2 camo players that I feel like if we keep going down, maybe we're at a minute left and we're still at a 1-1 game, that are going to be the difference makers. That's going to be Gunless and Karma. So pay attention, see how fast they get these abilities, and Hugh uses them the best.
You feel like this could be a decent OpTic lead, though, with the couple of opportunities we've seen specifically from this side. That could have been dunks. Maybe you get a 1-point toss off.
You got to give props to eUnited. I mean, they have just played tremendous defense.
They have.
Rotations back to their base. The big 2 pieces by Pristini. it's been an incredible defensive effort from eUnited. They are not going down this first series without a fight.
Gunless is filthy. He wants to make the play. It's up. It's away. It's good. Gunless coming up clutch yet again. Under 2 to go. God, he's nasty.
They get the points, and he doesn't have camo. You're going to have camo as well, so you should think you get at least a 1-point play if you use that camo effectively. So you think eUnited may have 1 more point on the board here. OpTic's going to have to get a 2.
90 seconds. Pressure building here. Gunless very close to that camo. Mentioned Karma in the same boat. He's a kill away from being able to maybe find a dagger here. He got the assist. He's jammed up as well. He has the drone. Wouldn't it be delightful here? But they're all cleared out. They're wrapping back from blue. Not going to be able to get there in time. And that's the lead for OpTic Gaming. 3-2. Plus you get the camo. Gunless is close to his, but now you're trying to wrap back out and see if you can get a rally going. Coming up behind one. The split spawn comes in as one's going to be at blue. Karma tries to get back to the base and help as they've got control in. The teammates pick it up. That's Scump finding 2. Maybe there's another dunk, but he's able to turn and find it. Can they get it through? He's got camo still to work with. Here it's through. 5-2. OpTic Gaming, 50 seconds left. And it's a field day in the eUnited base.
Yeah, Scump has blown this game open. He was currently on a 7 streak before he falls, but he's all the way in this back statue just picking off the spawners from eUnited. You see Karma with streaks. He does have that camo to work with as well. It's going to be a 1-point miss there for eUnited. The drone goes back to the middle of the map and 30 seconds left, Maven. OpTic Gaming look like they're going to take this first series.
And that was a full team effort, but God, Scump and Karma go huge inside the base. Don't allow eUnited to make another defensive stand. 20 seconds on the clock, and we will be seeing a second best of 5. I don't think you have enough time for a miracle. There's streaks raining down from the heavens. Scump finds 2, finds himself in the masses, and OpTic Gaming has done it. There's the salute from Karma.
Karma 30 and 23. You saw Scump and Crim both above 30 kills as well. The slaying power of OpTic Gaming showing up in our first series of the grand final.
That is exactly what you need if you're OpTic. A quick series. Let's rip through this. We've been grinding all day. It doesn't get much faster than that, man.
No, and that's the first overall loss for eUnited, and also their first loss in uplink. So, obviously, it's a very tough one here in the grand finals. Lose that first series. The second one's going to come up quick. The hard point got out of control in the first series. They got to just figure something out before that one comes up.
It's something that separates kind of a champion for maybe a new and upcoming player. How you deal with adversity. You suffer your first loss. Can eUnited bounce back? You'll find out after this break. Welcome back to the Call of Duty World League presented by the PlayStation 4. Of course, we're here at the CWL Atlanta Open Grand Final underway. Of course, we've just had the bracket essentially reset. OpTic Gaming with a swift 3-0. It was pretty quick, T-Bar, I'm not going to lie. And one of the questions I'm sure a lot of people out there would want to know, if you're on eUnited, how do you recover after a very, very quick loss like that? I mean, that was fast.
I think you just need to get the energy up and wipe that from your memory as fast as possible. You don't have too long to recover from that one. But going into this first hard point in the second best of 5, you have to try and find some sort of life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Basically, the uplink, they played it pretty close, but the rest of this series just really wasn't. Even starting from this first hard point, OpTic is playing at such a fast level. They're getting loud, and it does not look like they're running out of steam at all. Yes, that was the 6th series in a row today, just today, that they've won in a row. But does that look like they're running out of steam? Not by any means.
Yeah, absolutely not. That was, of course, one of the big questions we had, Chance, is how much steam does OpTic Gaming have? Are they going to run out of energy? I think we got a pretty decisive answer right there. No, they're not running out of energy.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that eUnited has started slow quite a few times. And OpTic Gaming, one of the most important factors they have is any one of those players is capable of going off at any given moment. They have so much big play potential. Just in this game alone, you had Karma going on like the 10 or 11 streak, and Hardpoint helps blow the game open. And on the flip side of things, the only thing go big, Pristini had a couple key stops in the uplink. Silly had an ace at one point in the search and destroy, but there just wasn't enough. I mean, we saw Scump going on 7 streaks in the uplink. Karma was going off in the search and destroy. We won a 7 streak. So again, OpTic Gaming has more of that big play potential, and they brought it out the entire series.
I feel like that begs the question, Momo. What does eUnited now need to do a little bit differently? Because I don't want to say it was necessarily a flat performance, because I don't want to take anything away from OpTic Gaming. That was a dominating performance from them, but that wasn't the same eUnited we've seen so far this tournament.
eUnited, what they've done so well throughout this whole tournament is they've set the tempo. And they went into that game probably thinking, you know what, let's just do what we do best. This is, our game. We've not lost a series. And OpTic set the tempo there. They came out faster, they came out quicker, and they took the lead. And that's something that eUnited really haven't had to deal with this whole tournament. So it was like a new experience. They're like, hang on, we're 50 points down in hardpoint. We've got to come back from this, because it's something that they won't be comfortable with doing. And to answer your question, what they need to do differently is they need to take back control. Whether it's go away, have a little break, which they'll do now. Like Teep said, you've got to forget it. As hard as it is, you've just got to put it behind you. Some players can, some players can't, but they need to get back in control of this game. They need to set that tempo.
Definitely going to be very tough, of course, for eUnited on a lot of those big hurdles we've seen so far, Teep. They have played from behind. You look at that Splice matchup, the reverse sweep, the first couple of games on main stage, dropping that map number 1. Now you're a little bit further behind. Obviously, you just kind of gave away your cushion. But is there a way you see that maybe they do come back into this one and maybe they do take the second set?
In my opinion, go back to the fundamentals. Obviously, they're a really strong team. A lot of things have been working for them, but all Call of Duty is playing off of kills in competitive objective game types as a whole. So you can't do anything if you're just dying over and over again. You need to take a second, slow it down, and as Krim said in his previous interview, maybe start camping just a little bit more just to get yourself going. You can't be going supremely negative in a situation like this because OpTic's playing at such a fast speed off of these kills, right? So slow it down for a second and get your Slayers going. Gunless and Pristini did not have a very good first hard point. Really, no one did, but when Karma's playing like that, they just kept getting caught sprinting over and over and over again. How many of those gunfights that Karma won were they shooting back at him, right? Karma was playing supremely well, putting himself in a very good situation, but it wasn't really gunfights the majority of the time. Slow it down. They can do it, man. They can do it.
All right. Teep still has a little bit of faith left in the eUnited boys.
Bad, though.
Hey, man, there's still faith. That's what counts, right? Talking a little bit about the uplink, no chance. I know you were kind of eyes laser focused in on that one. It started off very slow. I mean, it didn't seem like an uplink we've seen all throughout this tournament. It was very, very slow. I mean, here's a look at exactly kind of what happened in round 1. It was tied at 1-1. Then OpTic Gaming all of a sudden started to pull away a little bit, and they end the second half, of course, 4-1 up. What was the big deciding factor for you in that one?
Well, it was really just the end when OpTic Gaming kind of exploded again. Scump went on a 7 streak. Karma was going off as well. But very competitive game the entire time. Same with the Search and Destroy, incredibly competitive. I mean, eUnited was right there. Just a few key plays that go their way, and they would have won that game. But again, close the entire time. Neither team is really able to take advantage of the other. I know there was the one missed throw opportunity, but again, the score was 3-point difference between the two teams, so it's not a huge effect. But again, if it's OpTic Gaming, they're the only ones making the big plays, then of course they're going to win.
Fair assessment, fair assessment. Of course, talking a little bit about the crowd as well, Memo, we kind of talked about briefly, eUnited will need the neutrals on this side, and, well, there was a little bit of noise for those eUnited plays.
Yeah, there was. I mean, we had a little bit of a joke about it when eUnited did something crazy. I can't remember what it was. We heard a little bit of a clap, but then about 10 seconds later, I think Karma got a 2-piece, put the salute up, and the crowd just went crazy. And it's like, as a eUnited player, it's like, it's just a 2-piece. You see that in the bottom corner, but they feel this roar as well. I don't think it, or as well, I don't think it's something that I think they're letting get to them too much,
Right.
but I think it's something that OpTic are really feeding off.
Obviously, you know, we're halfway through our grand final, essentially, now with the bracket being reset. We should talk a little bit about that Control Freak MVP. I think it was yourself and Merc TP who were saying, for me, the MVP needs to be in the final at least, preferably, you know, for that Control Freak MVP. Who are you looking for?
See, here's a tough one. Full tournament, I 100% easily pick Formal, right? If OpTic wins, obviously, right?
Okay.
But today, Karma, man, absolutely dominating. So, you know, you have to go and look at the stats. Stats are pretty important when it comes into a decision like this. But overall, I think it's pretty fair to say that Formal has had the most consistent performance throughout the whole weekend. And then, let's say eUnited comes back and wins this in the second best of 5. You know, Pristini and Gunless, really all-star-like performances, but, you know, looking at stats, looking at the consistent performances, and all the clutches is what...
Had a fantastic event, and I feel like just kind of need to see that now. He needs to kind of summon a little bit of energy, if you will. I mean, Chance, who specifically are you looking for now at Control Freak MVP?
Well, again, as you already pointed out, I think if OpTic wins, you have to give to Formal, essentially just because he's been their leader the entire tournament. He's been an incredible factor of bringing them back to begin with. On the flip side, for United, if they're able to pull off the second best of 5, whoever goes on for them in this series, I think deserves it. Because, again, this is the most important match they have. So, I mean, that's the most valuable thing. When you're going against OpTic Gaming in the grand final, second best of 5, that's your most valuable player.
Very true. Backs truly against the wall. Memo?
Most important series is right now. I think the MVP is still up for grabs. I honestly think so. Someone goes off here, like you said, on a United, they can take it away. Big game from them. Overall, though, you can't doubt Formal.
Yeah, it seems Formal unanimous across the board. It's hard to not have his name in that conversation with just the sheer brilliance of his play style. I'm sure Maven is backstage somewhere with a big old smile on his face. Of course, Maven, a #1 Formal fan. I remember like years and years and years ago, Maven looked at me and had a conversation. He was like, I guarantee you, Formal will be one of the best, if not the greatest, Call of Duty player in the world. And I looked at him and I was like, you're crazy. Maven's pretty right about things. I can tell you that Formal has turned into a fantastic player and also kind of leading the Green Wall through Championship Sunday. Looking at the second set of maps that we have it in front of us, a hardpoint throwback to kick things off. Chance, you've been very kind of analytical in terms of the map set that's come through. Who does this one favor then? Is this OpTic Gaming who could potentially start to even excel further into that second series?
If I remember correctly, the last time they played this was against FaZe on map number 4, and this is when they clutched up, win big in the final seconds, and won by 8 or 9 points on the very final hill by baseball. So I think if they have a performance like that, they're just going to continue the ride. And, you know, they've 3-0 up so far in the grand total of the series. That being said, though, we haven't seen eUnited lose 2 hard points in a row at all. So I actually think they're going to be able to pull this one off. I just think they're too strong of a team.
And how important is this first map, TP, in your opinion, of this second series? Is it in this kind of case where if OpTic win it, you think that's the series? Or maybe does eUnited still have a little bit of room to play with?
I'd probably put it down to the first 2, definitely. And to play devil's advocate a little bit, making a bit of an excuse for the eUnited side. They were waiting for a while. Maybe that first series was their warm-up.
Okay.
Very bad warm-up. Should probably do a little bit better in that warm-up. However, you know, they got their shots a little bit more warm, and one of those players has to be due for a solid game, an all-star game that we've seen from them this entire tournament. It's got to happen now.
Fair enough. That's going to be everything from the studio. We can send it back to the wonderful Matt and Maven.
I'll tell you what, we were enjoying that conversation kind of about Karma and Formal, and it reminds me, you know, we're both Lakers fans back in the day, and it reminds me a little bit, now bear with me.
Yeah.
Back to the kind of Shaq and Kobe day when, like, Shaq was in his MVP form. He carried the whole way to the fourth quarter, foul out or something with Hack and Shaq. He couldn't hit the free throws. All of a sudden, you need Kobe to take over. Like, Formal has carried.
Formal's gotten them there.
And Karma is closing right now. Like, he's been insane the last 2 series.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to pick. I think I kind of almost agree with Momo. It's like I want to see what goes on in the second series. I feel like, obviously, you know, both teams' tournament lives rely on what happens over the next potential 5 maps. I feel like this is where you will figure out who your MVP is. I can't imagine picking it before now.
Well, guys in attendance, we're getting there. There is a second best of 5, which is one of the more absurd runs we've ever seen for OpTic Gaming and eUnited. The newcomers here trying to take the throne. Make some noise as they're getting ready for our second best of 5.
And I kind of take a stance a little bit, I don't want to say opposite of Teat, but he was talking about these first 2 maps are huge. I think this first map is the game for eUnited. I really believe it. I mean, they lose this one. OpTic Gaming, they've actually been really rock solid in Search and Destroy. Now, eUnited, they jump up in the first Search and Destroy in our best of 5 series, you know, in our first grand final series. and OpTic Gaming comes back and just takes it right from them. So I got to believe, eUnited, they got to come up with a win here if they're going to keep this going.
I agree with you on that point, Matt, and it is going to be throwback. Hard point to kick things off. It ended here in the uplink. It's starting here for our second best of 5, and I kind of agree with what they were saying on the desk. Like, eUnited, go back to the fundamentals, do what you did to get you here. If it is OpTic is just too hot right now, I mean, at least know you went out fighting. You went
really
out
easy to say.
Game. Yeah.
Go back to the fundamentals. I mean, in a game like this with the crowd and all the pressure, it starts to feel like it's just moving a lot faster than normal sometimes, and I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them to slow it down. I mean, maybe they bring out another NV4. We see most of the teams run, one at most. Bring out a second one. Maybe you can just play a little bit further distance, but it seems like going to have to end the game.
No one wants to start
starting the
first
same
game.
way as we started the first series.
Someone's trying to ice him here, but going to get a bit of a reset. Not sure if somebody spawned in on the wrong team or what the case may be, but we're going to get to this final set. I promise you.
And we usually don't ask you questions because you usually don't have opinions of some sort.
Or just good answers.
Who would be your Control Freak MVP at this moment in time from either side? You got to pick. I know you're going to say Formal for OpTic, so just give me the United side.
It depends on how the series goes for OpTic. Honestly, if Karma carries through this second series the way he did in the first, it's Karma for me. He was ridiculous in every single of those 3 maps. On the other side, it has to be Gunless. I don't even care really to the performance of, if one of them stands out to me, it wouldn't change my opinion because he's been so absurd all weekend long. It would still be Gunless.
Yeah, I mean, Pristini's been really consistent, like just not as flashy as Gunless. Like Gunless has been their playmaker, though. I mean, you look back at some of the plays in Search and Destroy and Uplink this guy has made. He's been a huge part of this eUnited squad. And at the beginning of the weekend, to be quite honest, I was doing a lot of the player interviews, asking who's the best player here or whatnot. I got a lot of Arcides and I got a lot of Gunless. It's like, I got to see it here to believe it. And I'm definitely a believer now.
The who's the breakout player one? Yeah, that's what I heard from half the people I talked to. Gunless, Gunless, Gunless.
No, I got a lot of people when I asked who's the best player.
Oh, best player. Oh, I was talking about like the breakout player.
No, not just breakout. I got a lot of people who said Arcides and Gunless were just unreal. The 2Ks coming into this, and obviously they've proven themselves here.
Well, I was talking, I think, with Aches, and he mentioned how hard of a carry Gunless kind of was at Vegas. I believe he had something like a 1.25, 1.3 KD, and the rest of the team was basically sitting under 1. And part of me wonders if that's just, kind of like I talked in the one video, I talk about this team, that the first time you go to a LAN, it's a bit scary. There are nerves. You don't play the same way you did online. You get a little bit shook. But now that you got that under your belt, you come here, and it has not phased them up into this point. I'm not saying that the crowd or the magnitude of the situation is the problem right now for them. I think it's more OpTic just being hot, kind of, in my opinion. But Gunless just overall has been a beast, man. Yeah,
and I mean, if you're at home and you're wondering, where did some of these guys come from? Previously, before Infinite Warfare, Arcides and Pristini, they are on the Apotheon team last year at COD Champs. They give Rise a pretty good game. They do not place well. And then Gunless, he placed for I2 online last year. So I know some of the more hardcore competitive Call of Duty fans, they've heard about those guys before. Very good online in some of the tournaments. And then coming into this game, Silly was on this team at the beginning playing with these guys, and then he got the offer from eUnited to play with Pac-Man & Co. that they had in Vegas PSX. And then after that does not work out, he goes to the organization. He's like, hey, let's bring these 3 guys in. Best decision eUnited's made in a while.
Silly always, when I think about it, it just comes back to, remember that team with Dito and Llama God when they were making plays, back in AW? I just remember some crazy clutches for him in Search and Destroy where I was like, wow, this guy is the real deal. And I don't want to say disappeared for a while, but wasn't on the big stage necessarily. And now's his shot. And hell, man, they are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, in a big way. And I know Silly, obviously we talked about his kind of grudge match against Formal. Formal wins it in that first series, although Silly did play pretty well in that one. They do not get any wins in the first set of 5 maps. It was a 3-0 for OpTic Gaming. We take a look at the rig draft. Nothing too surprising there.
All right, we're going to try this again, guys. It's MLG Primetime Part 2 as we kick off our second best of 5. OpTic 1 series away from one of the craziest losers bracket runs we've ever seen. And again, eUnited telling all the haters, all the doubters from fans on social media to players to casters to everybody, shut up. We're the real deal, and we're here to play.
And a lot of pressure on them, Maeve. I mean, I know when you're playing in one of these grand finals, you just never know when you're going to get the opportunity to get back into one. Obviously, OpTic Gaming, they've had the luxury of being in a ton of them. eUnited, this is the first time for all these guys, so they really want to kind of seize this moment, take it home.
All right, let's kick it off. Hard point in our second best of 5, kicking things off with a hot hand. It's been Karma throughout this final and really throughout Sunday that has been an unstoppable force. And his first gunfight going to go in his favor. He's able to take out Arseny's bounce back to mid-map, but it's Silly with the headshot able to shut it down.
Yeah, some early time for eUnited, but it's really going to be fighting for the spawns for them. They do get a flip here early, so within the first 30 seconds of the game, they flip sides with OpTic Gaming. They're going to have the spawns, at least for now, for Barn.
They can do some damage there, but heck, they're doing it right now at top middle as they've picked up every point. Pristini dropping out as Scump is able to find 2. Shut down all the aggression coming from mid-map. Karma gets caught sprinting there up top. You heard Teep talk a lot about, maybe for a new fan, talk a little bit about what he means by that. When you get caught sprinting constantly, you can't get into a flow. You're not getting in gunfights.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, I know some of the gunfights in Call of Duty are timing, and there's players in these great positioning, whatnot, and you're just sprinting, and coming out of the sprint, obviously, it takes a while for your gun to come up and fire. You get caught off guard. You can't really fight back. Now, you saw a lot of the eUnited guys, so a lot of the aggression there on the retaliation hardpoint in the first series. They just were not able to get any shots in. Karma just in fantastic spots.
Well, here we are in Barn, Matt. Crim6 finding one at the back roof. There's another to deal with as he wraps the edge. A couple shots in. Can't win the gunfight. The slide too much. And who else? It's Gunless finding 2 as he's on a 3 streak. At 4 and 2, let's see what he can do here. Trying to continue to deal with the pressure. Another one to get tacked on. 25 from the Scarab. More streaks he can build towards as now he's on point. You can see how accurate he can be when he's feeling it. They're looking for him at Lemon. He wins another one. 6th streak, 7th in front. On a 7th streak, he is a wrecking ball. And now inside, racking up some time as it's a 48-11 advantage. And we've got to stay with the man right now. He's been on a mission to prove everyone wrong this weekend, and it has been an incredibly, incredibly impressive performance.
He's going to use the Scarab here, going to get it back towards mid-map, maybe just trying to pick up a kill here to earn these more streaks, and oh, not going to be able to get a kill with it. Now going to have to go earn these further short streaks with his weapon. He's going to get tagged up, coming across the mid. Nobody in control of bike path just yet.
He's only 25 off, able to finish it. There's the bombardment, and one more coming through. What a huge play.
So he may not even realize it, but with it, his movement there, he kind of falls back towards that hard point. He actually gets the points for securing the hill, so gets fully streaked out there.
I wonder how he jumped straight from that Trinity to the bombardment. Sick stuff there, even if it may be unintentional. Coming in for Gunless. Nicely for eUnited, but Scump of OpTic Gaming trying to battle here close and personal. Clears out the corner and now trying to pick up some time. Turns and gets the assist there on Gunless. There's one more in front towards Lemon. Nice shots, but eventually will be traded out. But this is, I mean, this is kind of the dream start for United in a way, right? With the way that last series went, to just get some kind of advantage, get a little bit of a flow going.
So look, I like it that they get streaks from Gunless, but the score is still very close. Karma not getting off to a good start, 3 and 10 here. Seeing with Formal and even Scump, at even, you expect him to play a little bit better on this map, very close quarters. I would be worried a little bit for eUnited. Those guys start to get going, with the game so close. OpTic Gaming could just storm back into the front driver's seat of this one. But eUnited definitely looking much better in this second series thus far.
Well, they're trying to hold off the spawn from blue. OpTic keeps flying in, but they're able to shut it down. You saw that spawn come in against FaZe in their match earlier with OpTic as they just soared in and took control. They couldn't do it here against eUnited as they're able to lock it down. Silly, some wild shots all over the place. And Crim able to close him out in courtyard. And with just under 15 seconds left, this time should be going to OpTic Gaming. It looks like they're going to take one more crack at it. I think it was Pristini pushing in through blue, but you can see in the kill feed he does end up drop. So all the time goes the way of OpTic Gaming.
Good first half, though, for eUnited. You see Scump win a gun battle here, trying to get set up the top window to potentially take some more time here in this center hard point, but he's controlling these spawns right now for Barn. That second hard point, that's where you can get a ton of time on. Let's see how eUnited decides to do this, maybe. They can take a ton of time here and then maybe push through. So you see Gunless win 2 big gunfights mid-map. He's going to push straight on through, trying to push for these back spawns.
Gunless, 15 and 9, having a monster performance, and a big part of the reason they have the edge. He's going to have to turn now as he realizes everyone hit mid-map. Are they ready for him at window? The answer is yes. It's Scump getting a team kill, but also taking out Gunless. And now with 25 seconds left. The transition will start, but the spawns did flip. So OpTic Gaming had barnside control for quite a bit of time, but now it's going to be Pristini and the rest of the eUnited squad that'll be at a nice of who's trying to get in behind. That was going to be Karma. They do pick him out there outside of Grandma House.
It's a big kill. Now after this, all you need to do for eUnited is trade out, but 3 kills in favor of OpTic Gaming. It's going to be eUnited still controlling this back spawn. They do have to be careful. You see Karma, that 1 arrow at the top of your mini-map. They're coming in on a pinch.
And well, you see a bit of a split spawn here because you see Gunless and Pristini spawning out. They're going to be coming in for the flank, trying to make plays. Formal going to have to go huge here, get some bullets in, finally able to close out the kill, but he's the only one alive. You can see the rest of his team spawning out. He needs to stay alive here and try to get an effective pinch in. Scump leading the charge for the players coming off his spawn, tags him up and should bait him right into Formal. Able to do that and pick up the 1. All that's left is Gunless. You saw he used his payload ability there. If they can clear him out, now you've got control for OpTic. Nice break.
Yeah, with how good it's been for eUnited here in this hard point at the beginning, it is going to be OpTic Gaming taking the lead, and the score starting to rack up. If you are eUnited, you just do not keep pressing, do not give them score streaks. You have Gunless streaks to use over by Baseball, where you make a lot of this time back up.
Scump drops inside. That's Arcades picking up 2 nice kills. He's involved in the action with Gunless. They're really carrying the slaying load right now is Silly and Pristini. Struggling a bit, but now let's rotate out of Barn. It's Formal watching the lemon side here of Bike Track, but does end up falling. You do see the Centurion available for Crim6, trying to hip fire, never able to get that reload in with the MV4. And Silly will be set up underneath with FTL jump.
Yep, he goes to the opposite side of this hill. You want to hold that right-hand side of your mini-map. Lock down that baseball field because the hardpoint will spawn up on this side of the map. And, you know, Crim has been playing very well here to start things off. 27 and 18. It's really looked like, you know, the old Crim at time today. And we'll see Silly. The hill's going to be contested, but he's not going to jump out and fight this. Going to let his teammates come from over the top. And see streaks starting to come in. It's going to be Gunless using 1. He's going to be able to use 1 streak, pick up a kill, and then get a kill with his gun. Going to jump right back down into the hardpoint.
If they can get 1 more set of kills here, rack up the closing time, and then also get the rotation over to Baseball, they're going to be able to get a little bit of an edge here. But as Gunless drops, Silly able to answer the call. They still have control. Who's spawned top side? So you can see that number 2 on the minimap. That's going to be Formal. So he's going to try and break in from blue. Wins the entry kill. There's another there. He does get tagged up. So at least for the moment, you've got 2 players in Gunless and Silly that are going to look to lock down Baseball field. In the pinch now coming in from OpTic. You've got Crim6 at the top. A player just spawned in behind him. He's not going to be ready for that at all. I believe it's Arcades. So Crim may drop any moment. He was at least able to find a kill before getting chopped down. And now it's to the other side. The pinch is effective. There's 1 left in blue. He's gone. That was Pristini. And OpTic Gaming gets the break.
And we'll see if eUnited uses these streaks. You see them coming down from Silly. It's going to be Arcades, though, picking up a big 2-piece as he flies into the hard point. Everybody flooding this from eUnited. And just like that, OpTic Gaming gets a break. eUnited breaks right back.
These guys just battling back and forth. No one able to get a little bit of comfort here in the game 1 in our second best of 5. Whoever takes this one will be crowned your CWL Atlanta Open champions. Big prize pool and pro points to go with that one. And these 2 fighting so hard for it.
You see it's going to be OpTic Gaming taking the last few seconds here. We're going to go back towards that center hard point. We will see some of the more powerful abilities come up here, you know, reactive armor soon. And, you know, maybe we see another camo use out of, you know, Karma and Gunless. And Gunless has already worked his way about halfway through to his 2nd camo.
And I believe Karma was really close to getting that. Some magical play from Pristini opens things up momentarily, but sliding out is Silly. He drops down. Pristini still picking up kills. That was 3 in a row before he ultimately fell. OpTic is doing just enough to hold on, right? I think eUnited's had a bit of a lead here. Lines up a few for Arcades. 3rd there at Trax is Crim6, at least able to answer back. But are they going to be able to put OpTic away? A win here in game 1 would be so huge for them. You feel like if OpTic takes this, you're looking at another 3L. There's just too much going right for them. But eUnited not going down easy here in the first one.
You see Silly inside of the hard point. He's going to get 2, but the spawn for Barn in favor of OpTic Gaming right now. eUnited needs to push straight through. Luckily for them, they do have some abilities. So if OpTic Gaming gets this hard point at the beginning, you use these abilities in tandem, and you're able to break.
All right, well, let's see the setup here for Barn. Trying to get into FTL jump, spraying everywhere. That didn't work out quite like we saw it on Breakout Hardpoint a couple 2Ks ago, but he tries to make a play. You do have kinetic here and a nade to your own face, Pristini. Get out of there, bud.
He's going to fall. You see Silly coming in the side, and You can't see eUnited get frantic here. You're starting to see players, just pushing one by one. Nobody in position to trade. They need to slow down a little bit.
Crimsic still holding on to the Centurion, Matt. When do you think is going to be the best time for him to use this? I mean, in barn is always, we see it quite a bit. From there, the reactive armor, not enough. He actually shuts that down. He's 200 off the Trinity. There's two pushing him now. Might line them both up, but he splits them. Can't find the kills. And eUnited about to break the 200-point mark with these final 5 or so seconds as we'll begin to fight down towards tracks. It's Karma already set up with Camo. Not an easy gunfight. He can't win it. That's a big gunfight win for Arcides.
Yeah, and Arcides actually uses, Gunless actually uses Camo previously to get into barn. He's already working on yet another one, I believe. And you do see Silly and Co, they get control of the hard point. You do have Karma and OpTic Gaming drop right down. He does have Camo. You're going to save that if you're OpTic for that barn hill. But man, Crim, 40 and 29 right now, absolutely crushing. He's kept OpTic in this game.
We haven't seen that many 40 bombs in hardpoint. Crim putting on a show here, but it's Pristini that's trying to find the kills there under bike path. Not able to do so. It's Karma, the last man standing. Still holding on to this Camo. You take a look at the top right, you have a lot of payload abilities available for this OpTic Gaming side. Karma, Formal, Crim, all have stuff to work with, and you got to think they can combine those to bring this one back. Not going to be another push here towards bike path. So these final 10 seconds is going to put, just over 230 here for eUnited. You're going to need a perfect hold. Now it's going to come out. Well, it's going to go somewhere. Able to get it down. And now the first gunfight engagement. Arcides just melts Crimsic there. And can they get the pinch in? They have the advantage. Watching mid lane is going to be Scump. He's able to find the first. Another around the edge he finds as well. He's got 2. Formal drops in the back. It's Arcides going huge. He gets Crim, Scump, Formal, and the break. But you still have the close spawn. They spawn at blue and are able to fly right back in. It's similar to what we saw against FaZe.
Oh, I thought Arcides was going to win the game there for eUnited. 4 straight kills. You see Gunless. Now he's going to call down his streaks. He's going to get 1. Not going to pick up a second. It's going to be Arcides in the kill feed. Taking out Formal, though. Nice assist there. Pristini's going to finish off Crim. This is eUnited's best chance of this hard point. You see Karma flying in with the Camo. He's able to get 1. OpTic Gaming holding on here. 25 seconds on the overall game clock, though, Maven. Just keep that in mind. We don't see this go all the way down to the wire quite often.
It is very, very rare. And now Scump trying to push towards blue. They know they have to make a play. The 240 mark now hit for eUnited. Just 9 points away as we're going to wrap back. And
they got to get in the hill, OpTic.
Someone has to get in the hard point. You can't let this clock tick down too much. You don't even have to get in right now if you're eUnited. Just play around it. Keep them out of the hard point. You'll be able to submit the victory. Now eUnited decides to hop in. They want to close it out here. 2:44. Time ticking away. Under 10 seconds. No one getting the touch. OpTic, you have to be in every single hard point. Somebody's got to get in. It's eUnited. That's not what you want. And there it is. They get game 1. What a huge victory that is in the second best of 5.
That is a tournament-saving victory.
Yes, it is.
For eUnited. Arcides and Gunless. 40 kills apiece. An incredible game 1 for eUnited. And it's so rare. I feel like I can't remember the last time a hardpoint did not end at 250. And it's just a difficult situation, especially going back to that center one, because you want to kill them off of it, but then also you can't get back close to it. And with 5 seconds left, OpTic had no choice.
And that was mayhem at Statue there towards the end of the game, because first I thought when the break came in from Arcides with the 3-piece that they were going to be able to spawn out OpTic and make a play. OpTic spawned blue and they're able to rush back in. Crimsic gets a couple kills, think they have control, and then you see immediately it's broken back the opposite way. Just insanity there.
So just listen how ridiculous this was.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
Gunless, he goes 43 and 29, 7,000 points. Like, obviously we don't really kind of look at points as like an actual like kind of legitimate stat, but it's just kind of silly when you compare to everybody else in the lobby. And then Crim above 40 kills as well.
You could use those points at the MLG store.
Yeah, Brian, I'm
kidding, Adam Apicella, that was a joke.
But just a tremendous performance from Arcides and Gunless there in game number 1. I mean, cannot stress enough how big of a win that is for eUnited.
And you wonder, is this them getting control of the series, or is OpTic running out of gas, or is that just two juggernauts going up against each other? But let's take a look at the statistics here. What stands out for you, pal?
I mean, look at the hardpoint time on all these hills. There was a lot of hardpoint time actually for eUnited in the first one, 55. They win barn, they split bike path, and then baseball was really 50-50 as well. So the biggest difference in this one were the first two, train in the center of the map and over by barn.
Look at the stats. for Gunless. 43 kills, a 1.54, over 100 seconds in the hard point.
He's pretty good.
You wonder why we talked about him being our unanimous MVP if eUnited takes this? It's statistics like that. Insane, insane stuff. That is a face you are going to be seeing throughout the entire year and for several years to come in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, even in your first tournament, no, not your first tournament, obviously, but your first tournament, you know, as kind of a favorite, you know, on the radar of a lot of teams, to get onto the main stage and, you know, kind of live up to the hype and have those type of performances, it's kind of crazy. And
against the likes of, you've done it against OpTic Gaming, done it against FaZe. I mean, your series versus Envy wasn't even all that close for the most part. I mean, they handled them with, what, a 6-1 map count or something like that?
Yeah, Envy just does not match up well with eUnited. I was very impressed with Envy, what we saw from them this weekend, but, man, a big game one from eUnited. Going into game two, search and destroy. This is what OpTic Gaming, it's kind of interesting, you know, back at COD Champs last year, search and destroy is really the reason why they lost. They've been very good in search and destroy. It's really kind of guided them up until this point.
Now, what does it feel like, though, you know, if you're OpTic and you've been cruising series, you get the 3-0 there, you're feeling good going in, and then you have a little bit of a break and you hit the road bump here in game one. Does it change anything for your mentality a little bit, or is it still...
I mean, they've been playing straight all day.
Right.
This is probably that's probably the first time they got like a solid, you know, 10, 15 minutes to kind of just like kick back. Because when you're in that loser bracket run, I mean, you're winning a game, the next game's already ready to go because a lot of them, you know, winner bracket games are on the main stage, so we fly through them there. You know, you're getting sent to a station here, you're ready to go. Then maybe you get 10 minutes for lunch, 15 minutes for lunch, somewhere in there. But it's just a lot of games throughout the day, so you kind of get in a good rhythm. To lose, you know, that time, you know, obviously we have a little break between these two series. You know, eUnited takes game number one. It's the first time OpTic's really been beaten like that all day.
Very true, but like you said, search and destroy up next. It's going to be on retaliation. Highlight a couple of players for me here, one from each side that you expect a big game from, maybe you need a big game from.
I think Formal for the side of OpTic. We talked a little bit about it. You know, could he be your control freak MVP? He's gotten you to this point. You need him to show up big in this series, and especially in this search and destroys. He's been really their superstar in search and destroy. And then on the side of eUnited, I think you just need a good overall team effort yet again. Obviously, the nerves, something that could potentially be kicking in. You need everybody to play rock solid.
Well, if you're just joining us, we are still live for MLG Prime Time in our second set at the CWL Atlanta Open. It's been a long day, but for those of you that have joined us, thank you. It's been a fun one, and we've still got some Infinite Warfare action to come. Kicking things off, though, here with Formal. Bomb already planted. Not the best range for an MV4, but he's dipping, diving, somehow trying to slide past, but it's actually Crim6 that takes him out on the cross.
Yeah, it's probably so difficult. You know, Formal just trying to stay alive. Two players up there for eUnited. Crim just puts a few bullets in him, takes him out. It's going to be an easy kill for Scumpus. Silly's trying to cross. Good first round there from OG.
The answer back from the game one loss quickly in that round. Solid stuff, and you'll see Crim6 at a monster game one. Shot on point, 2 line up, and he's not missing bullets right now. You know, the time you spent coaching those guys, what's it maybe the single thing that stands out for you the most about Crim6 as a player?
I just love Crim's just hatred of losing.
Okay.
Like, I just think, you know, the way...
He hates it.
I mean, everybody hates to lose, but just, you know, how he feels after a loss. I mean, you know, he just knows he's going to give you everything he has in every game. That's what I love to, you know, working with Crim.
Well, Arcides also hates losing. And he hits a snipe throughout the break. Someone's shin is getting peppered with bullets, but Scump can't finish it. Silly able to come in from behind, but there you go. 1-1, eUnited on the board.
It's a big first pick there for Arcides with the sniper rifle. Now, after that, things just fall apart for OG. So, first 2 rounds, we see action over towards B. We won't see too much action over towards A here unless it gets later in the rounds, because it's so risky coming across that bridge, especially with 2 very good snipers in this game, with Formal on the side of OpTic and Arcides on the side of eUnited.
You see a full shot of the team there. From your experience with these guys, do you see any fatigue, or they look good?
They look fine. I mean, it's kind of really hard when you just take those kind of shots. I think really where you kind of see the fatigue come into play is like if you were to do a listen to their comms. That's where you really see the fatigue, or you would notice it.
All right, well, let's see what Formal can keep going here. He has already found one. He knows there's one in top bedroom. Saw him for a second. He wants to challenge the gunfight. Not able to connect on any shots here. We'll swap over to Crim6, who is staring at the bottom of this bridge. And now he's set up there. Good cover behind the car. You've got one down from either side in the 3v3. Matt, how do you see this developing, buddy?
Arcides ties it up in the man count, taking out Scump. And it seems like eUnited is trying to figure out how they want to hit this. It looks like they want to go hotel hallway to top patio. Two big kills by Arcedy's, working on an ace here as he picks up 3, but looks like Karma's gotten lost here.
He's got to defend this. There's not a whole lot of time left. He has to find a couple crucial kills. He's already found one. They're sticking it. No, he's already hopped off and checking the corner. Shoots the foot. 9 seconds left. Surely he has it. Able to snag it in time. Unless you had a real misplay there. You had a couple extra seconds to make the play. He wins one more gunfight. He actually probably would have had to kill one and get away there.
That is a huge round from Arcedy as he picks up Scump to even things up for eUnited. Comes down hotel hallway. Takes out 2 more. Karma, the last one alive there, made things a little bit interesting, but they're able to finish him off.
He expected him on the bomb, right? So he came out just kind of aiming at their feet. If he's gun up, if he knows the position, they're probably able to win that gunfight, but that's just an awkward one. You're looking for the bomb defuse.
And I mean, if he tries to like fake out the kill cam and go inside towards garage and then go around the other way, they probably defuse the bomb, not enough time.
All right, well, Arcedy's hit a snipe the last time we saw it out. Let's see if he can get it done here. He peeks the bridge. They're pushing hard. They're going to need his help as it looks like he wrapped back towards mid-map. Formal able to use the vehicle there to take Gunless out. One of the key players you certainly want to eliminate. You see the snipe go over Silly's shoulder as they're trying to hit the shots of the OpTic Gaming members pushed up at Grave. This is one of those tough situations where you kind of hope Arcedy is able to find a secondary gun here.
Yeah, but I mean, look at where the bomb is down. Not a great position for eUnited all the way up. I mean, right on the site. It's going to be very difficult to get to.
You have to take the fight on bridge when you have a sniper, right? I mean, where else are you going to go at this point?
I feel like you got to hit it fast on the bridge if you do it on the sniper. I feel like if you play it a little bit slow, it's just not going to work out. Here comes Formal on the flank. Misses a lot of shots. Arcedy's with another big kill. Oh!
Formal just got annihilated, and now it's Scump in a 1v2 around that seemed virtually impossible for eUnited. The tides have shifted very, very quickly. Scump trying to sniff it out. Where's the play going to come from? Finds one in front. Can't win it, and that is a round you can't lose if you're OpTic Gaming.
And I feel like all the plays that were going in OpTic's favor in that first series, you know, where they went up and then they, you know, kind of came back and search and destroy. You know, OpTic with some crazy plays. Now are starting to go in favor of eUnited.
It's certainly feeling that way. That Arcedy's kill on Formal was disgusting. I mean, he didn't see him at all as he's soaring through. Formal can't snap on him, and he just turns and takes his soul. That was brutal.
Now we'll see what happens for OpTic on the offensive here. Like we said, not a lot of pushes over towards A. You saw how bad it went for eUnited in the previous round. They end up winning it. But OpTic Gaming, it's going to be Krim getting tagged up, so knows where the players from eUnited are coming from now.
The slide, not enough there. As Krim gets the first blood onto Pristini, they have the 4-3 advantage. They had the advantage in the last round as well before Arcedy's was able to tip the tides. Now let's see how the collapse is going to happen. Krim still playing patiently here inside of Hotel. They've got the bomb down. Gunless and crew have to work to defuse. Crimsix finds another in Arcedy's. He is having a monster final as well. Him and Karma have just been nuts. It's Crimsix again. Crimsix now going to be working on the ace here. It's just going to be Gunless. We've seen him in a 1v3, but there's 12 seconds left. He would need bullets ricocheting off the walls, deflecting into faces. Not much he can do, but at least he can try and work towards Camo a bit here.
Yeah, he picks up 1 kill, but OpTic Gaming takes the round. Meaning, what, 1v3, 15 seconds left. Bomb down.
That's what you call impossible.
Realistically, no chance for Gunless to win that one. Now with
Crimsix does finish off that ace.
Yep. With eUnited now going on offense, I wonder if we see them try and go back towards A. I mean, they don't win the round in the fashion they expected to, but you know, maybe they kind of catch OpTic off guard. I mean, OpTic's probably thinking about who's crazy enough to go to A 2 rounds in a row after it didn't work out that well, but you know, it's going to be eUnited going something a little bit safer here.
This grenade may connect. Shots in, able to get the assist at least on one. Formal and Scump do drop. Thankfully for them, Karma and Crimsix have been your 2 studs at least through this final. Crimsix specifically in this game 2, 7-3. Checking it, he is there. Able to do some damage, but not finish the kill. Down a man. In crunch time, they're worried about the flank. How do you hit this? Looks like they're just going to try and fly out steps. Take the gunfights quickly because you only have 30 seconds to work with.
Yeah, it's difficult. If you do not get that player off that top patio, it's going to be almost impossible. It's going to be Krim taking out Gunless. He gets blown up by a Scarab. You know, we talked a little bit about it, Maven. You know, maybe eUnited, you know, they play a little bit lackadaisical in that first series, having the luxury of the second one. And it seems like they have, you know, when we go to shots to them, they just seem a lot more on point. Just coming into this one, you know, now that they realize their backs are against the walls, maybe you go into that first series, you can't really kind of go as hard because you know you have that second one in your back pocket.
It's like, you know, we mentioned David and Goliath earlier. Maybe it's like it's more like a boxing match, right? The heavier guy comes out, throws everything he's got to you, you weather it, and then you out-survive them. They've got some energy left in. They feel like they took OpTic Gaming's best punch and survived it, and now they can come back in this second best of 5.
They cannot let this search and destroy get away from them, though. OpTic Gaming in the first series is able to make a comeback in Game 2 S&D. See if they can do it here. The bomb will go down. You have Arcedy's up top trying to pick up a first blood, but it's going to be Karma taking out Gunless to open things up.
See if the nade can work in Arcedy's favor. Not able to do so, but hopping quickly over to Pristini. He's got to fight here at Patio. It's a wild one, but he does take out Formal. He manages to stay up. 20 seconds remaining. They've got to make the plays, but it's Scump inside Bike, finding one, tries to slide a closet. It's all going to be on Crim now with only 14 seconds left. He's got to play his life. Trying to defend it here, backs them off of it. Just needs to stay alive a second longer. He's stuck it, though. He's got to find him on it. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. Pristini sticks it and should have it easily. A second and a half left. That's a tough spot, though, for Krem. But what do you advise there?
I mean, where the bomb is planted, all you have to do is just go prone on it and just hide behind the bomb site.
Yeah.
The only way Krim could have gotten, like, good vision on it if he jumps on top of the bar there and then jumps up.
You got Silly staring at you,
It's an easy kill for Silly if he does that. So, very difficult, play for Krim to make there with that bomb placement.
Well, we will keep chugging along here on our second best of 5. 5-2 advantage for eUnited as they're looking to take a 2-0 advantage. Let's see what we got working for Silly. It looks like they want to hit mid-map hard here. Haven't had an encounter yet as there's more of a passive defense coming in from the side of OpTic Gaming. They're going to quickly work a plant. Silly able to put some bullets into one, but not finish a kill yet.
They're in a very good spot. Bomb down. Everybody up. It's going to be Karma getting another first blood. Back-to-back rounds. He earns camo as well. They may need to use it here to get back down onto the site.
Well, let's see if he opts to use it. This is a crucial round. Obviously, you lose this, you're losing the game too. You have camo to make the play. You see one across. You can't take that with a K-bar, right? First the NB4. It's just out of range. You drop in front of him. He's able to win it. Tags up. Karma as well. You have Krim and Karma who might be able to make the play. He's got in. The bomb does get defused. I thought he caught it before he got it off. All right.
Half a second too late.
It had to have been real damn close.
It's about as close as it can get.
Wow. I thought it was over.
Yeah, the player.
I thought it was over.
Yeah, it looks like he's just getting up after defusing the bomb there, and Silly burns the FTL jump. But I do like using the FTL jump just to like get a little bit pushed forward, almost like a mini like dash, just trying to get a little bit of a better sight lines on it. He's a half a second too late. He picks up that kill. He wins the round.
Well, you saw a 2-5 comeback against Panda earlier today. Can they do it again? The first opening kills, both of them coming in the favor of OpTic Gaming. The third for OpTic Gaming. Now it is Gunless. If he gets one kill, he has camo. Likely a situation where you save it, but we've seen him work the 1v3 magic before. Can he find this kill and give himself a shot? I mean, he's taking the long. He's not going to be timed by the time he gets around.
And it was a 1v3 he pulled off against FaZe in the same kind of manner. He picked up one kill, got camo, went right away, but he was on the offensive side of things during that. So much different scenario. You're going to play it much differently, obviously, from the defensive side of things. And going to come right around this corner. Has a player to his right. Not able to win it. So OpTic Gaming, 2 straight rounds here. Karma has gotten first blood in our last 3 rounds.
You have to think with that route, he was just playing to get his camo, maybe find an easy kill. I mean, there's no chance he was going to be able to pull off the 1v3. There was like 18 seconds left.
No.
So just trying to get that camo, maybe have it to start this round. Again, you've had some clutch comebacks. You've seen some chokes when going up against OpTic Gaming and Search and Destroy. This would be a painful one to lose for eUnited. You get the game 1, you're back, baby. You got him against the ropes here in game 2, and then you let it all slip away. And who else but Karma with the camo? Formal. Watching Hotel Hallway. Karma's got to be the one to make the play. Did he spot him on the bomb? He's going to know surely what's going on now. Scump's made the call, peeking the edges. Karma, he sees one, I believe, at the back van. It looks like he wants to try and at least hold on to this for round 11. When you have the 4-3 advantage, save this if you're able to. Silly's been tagged and backed up. This is looking like we're seeing around 11. It's going to be Formal coming through now. It's just Gunless and Silly. You have to try and make the clutch. Look how close he is to Camo as well.
And it's the same thing they did when they pushed A the last time. They're just a little bit too slow. OpTic Gaming played nobody on the defensive side of things over towards that site. eUnited just does not take map control. And we will see a round 11 here in game number 2.
Stop letting them do this. No one can close them out, man. You gotta just put the knee to the throat and take it. And eUnited can't get it done. And now, remember, you've got Karma with Camo. Gunless a kill away from Camo. The OpTic chant starting in the crowd.
A lot of pressure on eUnited to win this round.
Everything you could ask for, Matt, here in round 11. MLG prime time and the grand champs here for the CWL Atlanta Open. A 2-0 advantage for eUnited would be so crucial. But OpTic Gaming have something to say about that.
And Gunless is still about 1 kill away from Camo, so it'll just be Karma with that ability at the beginning. You do see the bomb moving up here for OpTic Gaming. They're going to be able to get it down at B.
Just keeping my eyes on that number 1 on the minimap, which is going to be Karma. Remember, he has this Camo getting tagged through the wood. You got to back up if you're Formal. He might get peeked from the top bedroom. They're going to come out and challenge. Formal's got it. Karma's found one. Karma still has Camo. He pops the Camo. He's trying to get it behind. Finds the kill. Now it's Gunless. Also has Camo. Soaring out. It's a 1v3. There's one. Can he make the play? 19 seconds left. Can't turn it. OpTic's done it. They tie it up at 1-1. And that guy knows. You can't choke those, Matthew. You can't choke them.
You cannot let that happen. You're eUnited. You had a great opportunity to go up 2-0 in this series, and you blow it. And I mean, against a team the caliber of OpTic Gaming, you cannot let them come back into a series like that when you have the opportunity, not necessarily to put them away, Maeve. I mean, you go up 2-0, there's a real good chance you're going to win the series. You can't let that happen. That's Falcons level.
You hear it. They're hyped up. That's maybe a must-win map if you've ever seen one with how long they've been playing. They go down 2-0. Maybe the morale drops. But again, twice in one day, we see them come back from down 5-2 to get it done. How do they keep doing it, man?
You know, it doesn't really show up in the scoreboard, but when OpTic started to make the comeback, you know, early we were talking a lot about our cities, right? Getting these first bloods, round after round after round. Karma draws first blood, I believe 3 straight rounds, may have been 4. No, it was a guaranteed 3 straight rounds. He draws first blood. Helps OpTic get back into it.
Taking a look at some of the highlights here from both sides of the attack. That one, a fortunate one for Formal. I thought after he got tagged up, he was going to be called out and maybe pushed. I did not expect the player to hop out a window and just look the opposite direction. I wasn't expecting that whatsoever. And as soon as you see Karma pop up in the kill feed, you know he still has Camo. You think it's basically done. Crim6, though, he gets the ace, and this is a huge round. You're down 3-1. What a monster round this is for Crim.
Yeah, and just a lot of accurate shots with the NV4, and it seems like Crim has found a gun that's really working for him here. You see the final kill picks up right by the bomb site. Man, you see the United guys, they were so jacked up, so pumped up after that first hard point.
Pristini looks like he needs like a hug or a pep talk.
I mean, dude, it's a tough loss. Man, it's a tough loss. You got the crowd chanting after. That is a tough pill to swallow. I mean, you're right here in the finals. You see the opportunity to go up 2-0 right in front of you. I mean, 1 round away. They had a lot to play for there, and they just don't get it done.
Oh, the tension keeps on mounting. Hell, this is great Call of Duty. I'll stay here until midnight if the play stays at this level. I'm just kidding. If I stand much longer, my feet might break.
Yeah, I mean, this
Do you
is the
see
most
me? I've been like tapping around. I sat on the floor for a little while.
Yeah, if you ever met me in person, you realize I'm usually not as tall as Maeve, and I have a wonderful, comfy box to stand on here.
I wish we could just get some.
I wish we could show it. It's quite ridiculous.
You're tall in your heart.
Yeah, every event I just keep growing. Just keep getting bigger.
You're a late bloomer, But we'll take a look at the rig draft here before we get into precinct uplink. Now remember, the first uplink that eUnited dropped was in the last series. By last series, I mean the first best of 5 in this grand final. Surely you're not going to lose 2 back-to-back, right?
Precinct is one where you can put a lot of points on the board.
Yep.
And you got to imagine that if OpTic Gaming gets going in the slaying department, they spawn them in that back alley, it could get ugly, could get out of hand score-wise. But we did see, Gunless go big in the series that we casted earlier. On this specific map, we saw the crazy play, camo 2-point play, and then just taking people out left and right after that. So we have seen eUnited win this against a good team at this event today.
Located in progressive Japan, the early stages
All right, let's go through and talk a little bit.
First uplink station is on a war-torn street.
Hey, I think we're hearing this is my elegant voice.
Who is this man?
This is me talking about how amazing Precinct Uplink is.
Do you remember, so we wrote the scripts back. Can you remember where this is?
War-torn Geneva?
No, that's Retaliation.
Darn it.
Just shows how much you pay attention while we actually write.
We spent so much time scripting out little fly-throughs for these. It was you and I, just like a buddy system for 5 hours one day.
Yeah, no, it was very long days. But you do see Precinct Uplink loading up now, and we will talk a little bit about it once we get into the game. Just looking at the signs here, it looks like you're going to have eUnited spawning on the side we talked about, where you can spawn trap the team in the back alley. Just look at that top of the mini-map. If you want to kind of get an idea of who's winning this game, who is controlling that top side of the mini-map, is going to tell you a lot.
Well, 3 dead, 4 dead immediately for eUnited, and that is not the break you want. You already have Karma in your base, high-flying, finding assist, and pushing it. The drone coming in from behind to find yet another kill. That's 2 for Formal, and that's a dunk for OpTic to start off the game. That took 30 seconds.
And they're getting back towards mid-map. They are not done putting points on the board, and I love this decision. So the defense for eUnited is going to go topside. That's just where you put the points on the board. They bring the drone straight through construction. They're going to try and push this in for at least another 1-point play. Karma with a shot over the building, not going to go through.
Not enough of a bounce there to go through, but what pressure you see from OpTic early. Now it's going to be the chance for eUnited. Arcides has been a beast throughout this one, but they all need to go off. Pristini's starting a little bit slow here. I mean, his demeanor didn't seem great coming into this one. You saw how frustrated he was after that game, too. He has to turn it around, has to find the energy. That's where you need a vocal leader. Someone like Clayster who gets you hype, gets you in it no matter what the situation. He's got to find another gear.
Yeah, I mean, the drone's going to go down. It's going to be eUnited holding on the defensive end, but you'd be surprised, man. A lot of things go through your heads in grand finals like this. I mean, you lose a map like that, you start thinking about all the time you put in at home and whether it's going to go for naught or really pay off. And right now, they've done a good job. It could have got out of hand early. OpTic Gaming slaying heavy at the beginning. A missed throw. You need to knock those down.
Got to hit the gym, silly. Those you got to put through. Just misses it a little bit short. Still a 2-0 advantage. Did I hear an airball chant in the crowd?
Yeah. I mean, they're quite used to it here in Atlanta. They have Dwight Howard shooting free throws often. So.
Oh, I forgot Atlanta still had a basketball team.
Hey, he burned our Lakers. It's only fair.
All right, back to the action, though. 3-0 advantage now for OpTic Gaming. A 6 spree for Formal. You wondered if the beast would awaken here in the final, and now it's coming through. The major notification coming in. There's the 8th. Oh, sorry, that's an assist. Karma takes it, and Scump takes the slamma-jamma.
Man, Formal on this 7th spree. He has just locked down this area of the map. He's going to earn score streaks as well. Gunless just trying to play some semblance of defense here. He's going to pick up 2 by his base. Then you see the 1-point throw going in there from Silly.
I thought he shortened it again. I thought it was going to be just a little short. Learned from his mistake the last time, and Silly puts it through. But the drone now back in OpTic Gaming's hand. It's going to be all on Silly to play defense now as they're flying forward. Up over the top, and not good. It'll be automatically reset there as it clips the edge of the roof.
Yeah, it clips the roof, gets reset automatically. It's kind of like if you remember back in the previous uplinks where you can throw the drone on top of the building. Not possible in this game. It's going to get reset instantly. So do see Karma dropping the drone, pushing forward. eUnited set up on the defensive end here. There's no pressure on OpTic Gaming. I mean, they're on the side where we usually don't see a lot of points go through. So eUnited needs to push forward to get the drone in this situation.
Well, Karma trying to beast his way in. Arcides with the defense. Pristini helping out as well, but Crim6 has gone ahead and wrapped it. Wants to get it over the top. The shot's away. The shot is good. A sick one over Apartments as they're able to tack on there, but what can you do right now if you're eUnited? You're down early. You're playing on what we see teams probably do the most damage from, typically at least.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I told you a little bit earlier. Pay attention to that top side of the minimap. They have not pushed this top ticket area, had not gotten control. OpTic Gaming, they've controlled this statue area. They put a lot of points on the board.
Well, Silly caught reloading, but R-City's there to finish it off with the melee, and now you're going to have points. This should be a dunk coming through, able to find the last one, but actually they get it in, but can he set up here is the question. Not able to do so, so you don't get the spawn trap you're looking for. And now the counter attack coming in for OpTic Gaming. You've got Karma with drone in hand, Scump trying to push out the top side of the map, Crim6 trying to push out the bottom as the pinch is going to come in. Crim loses his gunfight, but Scump wins both of his. And now the attack is coming in. The third is in front. A little bit of a bait and switch, a little bit of a nade to your own face. The defense still seems to be there as there's a change of possession. The drone wrapped out by eUnited.
Yeah, 30 seconds left here. I mean, best case for eUnited, obviously, they get a 2-point play here. They make it a 1-possession game. I think you at least need to get a 1-point throw off. They do push the drone up towards that mid-street, but as soon as they get it there, they are just gunned down, 4 dead in favor of OpTic Gaming. Now they're turning this into offense.
Yep, now you're going to be having gunfire immediately off the spawn, and who else but Scump to get in their face. Karma over the top. Intercepted. I thought it was reset there. Maybe didn't get over the edge, but I believe that was picked off.
Yeah, it was Silly with an interception there, so a good defensive play there by Silly. Stopped the bleeding a little bit, but the damage is done. It's OpTic Gaming up 6-2 going into the second half.
Formal, a big part of the reason they're able to get the early edge in the first half. That 8 streak he goes on, a big catalyst. You know, you think back to the game 1 hard point in the first series where Karma goes on a big spree there to get them going. It seems like it's always someone, right? Crim has a big hard point. Somebody's stepping up. And it seems on the other side, it's either a team effort or it's gunless, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've only seen wins when it is a team effort. You've not seen wins from eUnited in this series when it has just been gunless. Only so much you can do as an individual in these team-based objective game modes. So, do you see Karma just get the drone out of their way? You do see the drone down the middle of the street, so you do see RCs on your minimap spawn in that back alley. Woo! Nobody in that top ticket area. Silly picks up 2.
And Arcides gets involved as well, so that's 3 down Matt, and maybe an attack opportunity now for eUnited. You look into lobby there on the minimap, you see it's Crim6 set up. So he's locked and loaded to shut down any potential push. He's now in a 1v1 with Arcides, and Crim6 wins the fight. And this sets the offensive attack up again for OpTic Gaming.
The OpTic Gaming attack, I mean, they just do not need to push this recklessly. They do not want to give up that top side of the map. They're going to push this down towards that middle street. You see, it's just they grab the drone, push a little bit forward. Formal picks up 2. He's got 1 more player coming from his left. It's going to be Crim there to clean it up. Needs to touch the drone here quick, or else it's going to go back towards the center of the map.
It looks like they're going to leave it for the reset. No, they're going to go ahead and grab it, maybe wrap down through Cherry Blossom. Try to win some gunfights as Pristini does get one there in the mid lane. Waiting patiently here to see if maybe they can catch an OpTic player playing a little bit over aggressively, but they're getting tagged up. Teammate dies near him. Gunless says, I need to get the hell out of here, and wraps it back. Maybe, but Silly finds 3. Silly opens things up. He can't find the 4th, though, so Formal's still on defense. Gunless has to go topside, but in the time it takes to wrap, everybody going to be up on the defensive end for OpTic Gaming. He needs some help, and slowly they're working towards it.
Yeah, not even a chance for a 1-point play there because there's 3 players there for the interception set up. It's going to be 2 kills for eUnited. Crim with a big kill on the defensive end. Scump there as well. A 1-point throw goes off. It is too short. Now Formal's going to start running this towards that top side. We'll see if OpTic can get any type of offense here.
So far, it's been a slow second half. No points on the board. Karma can't get it done. Scump gets killed at the edge. The meat grinder set up for eUnited. They find all 3 kills, and surely this is an opportunity. Silly with another multi-kill there to try and get something going. But as he falls, OpTic already back on defense, already pushing it out. You don't even see the drone get forward for eUnited.
Yeah, we've seen Silly pick up some nice double kills during this one. They have not been able to turn this into offense. See, as soon as he goes down, the push falls apart for eUnited. Silly gonna have Crim in front of him. Not gonna win that one as Crim goes high there. Pristini and Arcees pick up a kill apiece, though, but look at this. Scump just going to throw the drone down, going to rely on his gun skill to just hold it in this position.
Yeah, honestly, you're fine with this is the section of the map where you see the drone kind of locked many times. Time's on your side if you're OpTic Gaming. You don't have to get fancy on offense. You don't need to turtle. Just sort of play this trench warfare here outside of the lobby spawn. And the game will be yours in just a couple of minutes. Crim6 flying high, 1 more in front. Is there anyone there to trade it out? I think it was Karma, but Arcees actually finds both. That's now 3 down. You've got to try and make a play, but it's still going to be Formal. Now, Formal can cut down 1 or 2. That's everybody. You cleared everything out. Surely you try to get at least an opportunity on the board here, but everybody is now spawned up. The defense is ready to go. They find the first. They find the second, and the drone is still just sitting back by Crim6 really on the minimap.
Again, you see the streaks coming down from Formal. Nothing out of that push for eUnited. And they have had no offense in uplink. This is a team that their first uplink loss of the entire tournament was to OpTic in our first best of 5. They do not look like the dominant force they were in the game mode early in the tournament.
And Krim shooting lasers here. The three-piece that dunked through. Wow, that was some sick stuff there from Krim. 60 seconds left. And, you know, TP has said that he thinks the best game mode for OpTic has been uplink throughout the weekend. They've been a bit shaky and hardpoint at times. You put the undefeated uplink team against maybe the best mode, and it's gone back-to-back times in OpTic's favor.
I mean, they've been great in search and destroy as well. I mean, you can kind of make that a toss-up. You see the drone, they're just going to keep playing this game, Maven. They're going to keep throwing it down over here by Statue. Post Formal up on top and just let him just rain down terror with the NV4. You see Scump here. All he need to do is keep trading these kills out. I mean, Pristini in the top picks up 2. By the time he gets down, drone reset mid-map.
This had to be a phenomenally frustrating game for eUnited. It seems like no matter what you did, no matter how many kills you found there around mid-map, you were never able to get offense going. As R-City drops, that's another 4-man wipe of eUnited. And OpTic Gaming is now going to be 1 map away from being crowned your CWL Open champions.
It's a very tough map for eUnited. Could not get anything going on the offensive side of things. This map, more than any of the uplink maps, favors teams that have great slaying power. Not the Gaming shows you why, as they take it 7-2.
The crowd on their feet. They know how hard the boys of the Green Wall have been working all day long. Let them know they appreciate what they've been doing, as this has been a real treat for us, a treat for everybody at home. It's been a hell of a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and you know, if OpTic Gaming is going to do it, they're going to have to take a hard point here against eUnited. eUnited, at the beginning of this series, they steal that first hard point. You know, they played very well. It's been a very strong hard point team throughout the tournament. Nah, I kind of want a game 5, personally.
Of course.
I mean,
of course
to see that,
game 5.
To see that would be pretty awesome.
That's what I love whenever like somebody talks about caster biases. Like, listen, I can speak for every caster in every game. All we want is an epic series.
So you can speak for every caster in everything
game
on the planet.
You want the game 5, the game 7, the game 3, whatever it is. You want an epic comeback. You want the underdog story. We're all rooting for the spectacular, right? That's what we want. I would love to see a game.
I'm happy the representative of all casters.
I represented every single caster.
A bald, almost 40-year-old man in a yellow jacket.
I will be their spokesperson.
I feel like he's talking for all of us.
I will take on that responsibility.
I mean, I do agree with you, though.
Yeah.
You do want to see great games,
you want,
right?
Man.
I mean,
you want great games. It's more fun to cast. It's more fun to watch. It's what we live for. It's why I want to do this as a job, man. It's a blast.
We can see the box score here for Precinct Uplink. OpTic Gaming, 6 points in the first half. The second half, I mean, was really low scoring just because of how we saw OpTic Gaming play it. But Formal, 36 kills, a 1.89 KD.
So, all right, I said that. My Control Freak MVP would be Karma, depending on how this second set goes. It's shifting back to Formal if they take this series with some of the stats we've seen him dropping here. 1.89, are you kidding me?
I mean, he's had stats at this event that have just been silly. It's kind of reminiscent of G3. You remember when he was on Envy? He just put up insane numbers during that tournament. It's kind of the same type of feel you get for the way he's played today.
Well, 1 match away. They're already into the rig draft here. Is OpTic working to be crowned champions, and this will be the first time they could host a trophy. And it's been 6 months.
In a really long time.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd to say. I mean, I feel like
a bit of a drought.
We go into each event, talking about how they're potentially the favorite and whatnot. And for them to have not gotten the job done with the roster they have, it's kind of crazy to see.
And if you're not aware, which you probably are, but there is a whopping $200,000 on the line here for this event, and it could all be decided here in this map.
Now, the next map will be Scorch Hardpoint. So going into this one, obviously a very fast-paced hardpoint. A lot of big money hills. You're going to be looking at Turbine. That, I think, is where the game's going to be decided. A lot like how we saw in Barn on Throwback, where eUnited did a great job locking it down. Really focus on that second hardpoint.
I'll tell you what, speaking with Crim6, I know that at least for him, and I believe he was speaking for his team, this is their least favorite hardpoint. Much more favorable of Breakout, of Retaliation. This isn't one they feel as comfortable on. Maybe this is where eUnited can get it done, and this is where I've seen them put together some absolutely beautiful pushes. Those 4-man delayed pushes where you wait for everybody to group up, hit from either side. eUnited does it very, very well. Will OpTic Gaming be ready for the swarm?
I feel like eUnited a strong hardpoint team coming in here. OpTic Gaming's hardpoint has been up and down all weekend. If you're Silly, you're kind of the leader on the eUnited side. You got to say, like, guys, I know, don't even think about potentially going to Game 5. You got to tune the crowd out. A really good opening break here can turn the tides in this. I mean, it kind of sounds ridiculous, but those first 4 kills, you know, if they go the way of eUnited, can definitely just change the game completely.
I mean, look at how that uplink started. 4 down for eUnited pretty much immediately. OpTic gets out early. It's not a super high scoring affair, and they get 2 points in the opening 30 seconds and never really look back.
No, exactly. I mean, you can't kind of stress enough how important these opening breaks are. Obviously, some maps more than others, like on throwback, when you're trying to get positioning that you don't have. But just in terms of confidence and momentum, I mean, you start getting in a rhythm. You know, you're starting to figure out the spawns right away if you can get that advantage.
All right, well, we are 10 seconds away from yet another hard point in this final. They've split now 1-1. And, I mean, the first one you think goes very well in OpTic Gaming's favor. The second, pretty much a 250 to 200 game. They look pretty strong, but here we go. MLG prime time. Can OpTic Gaming close it out? Or can eUnited push this to a Game 5?
And there's been a lot of pressure on Gunless in this tournament, like we've talked about. I think you need Silly, you know, the most experienced player on eUnited coming into this to have a big game here.
You really, really do. And Pristini able to connect there with the nade, backing everybody up. Formal trying to play his life as he's being swarmed by eUnited, and now they get control. The first 14 points go towards OpTic Gaming. Now their chance to get a little bit of a swing, but we know this is more about holding the left side of the map, holding those spawns for the rotation coming up for Turbine.
Yeah, and eUnited has been pretty aggressive how they've pushed this, and they've potentially spawned themselves out. At least at the beginning here, you see they're both spawning on that right-hand side of the mini-map. You see the number 3 arrow. That's going to be Scump going all the way over towards Turbine. It's going to be a big gun battle between Arcides and Scump here to determine who gets Turbine first.
Well, it looks like RC was waiting more for the other cut. He's actually able to get Formal on the cross, so now by delaying that, it's going to turn this into a 2v1 fight, but Scump able to find one, try to turn. He actually was surrounded by 3 players there, and now look at the minimap where OpTic spawning.
Massive for eUnited, Maven. They get a big lead here early, and they get the spawns for this next hard point. You have one player, it's going to be Pristini, inside of the hard point. Needs to come up with some big kills here. He falls to Karma, but you see eUnited just flooding in, trying to trade these kills out.
That's all it is, effectively trading inside the hard point. They're able to do it. Gunless still here, trying to play his life until his teammates can back him up. He's got 1 to work with, but Crim6 takes off Pristini's dome. And now Gunless trying to use one of the better covers in the entire game, able to tee up 1. There's a second to his right, finds that, now turning before the push comes, but not able to do so. But with 15 seconds left, you get a pretty good hold for eUnited. You've got a 30-point advantage. Yes, you're gonna lose. Actually, maybe you don't lose these final seconds, as it looks like Pristini might want to just come in and disrupt here.
You don't really need that. It doesn't really matter. I mean, OpTic Gaming is going to hold on the last 2-3 seconds.
Oh, look where he spawns, too. Now that he might have spawned for a good flank, actually, where Pristini's coming from, if he gets there quickly enough.
But with where he spawned, he's going to spawn his team out. So you see, when he goes on that, you know, pushing towards that garbage time, he dies. He spawns towards the bottom side of the mini-map, and because he's in that position, he kind of drags the rest of the team with him all the way across, and they're going to lose Hanger.
Well, Hanger now controlled by OpTic Gaming. It's going to be Gunless pushing through rocks, trying to flank into Hanger. Karma on OpTic trying to deal with it all, though. He's inside. He's won 2 gunfights. He saw the third spring on the corner. He has 5 bullets left in his K-bar. Not enough bullets to get it done. Doesn't connect with any of them. And now you've got a break for the other side. With 20 seconds left here, all but a tie game. It's Silly and crew trying to hold on, but if you look at the mini-map, look at the bottom where the spawn's coming in for OpTic. They're going to be in good position for drill. But it's still going to be eUnited holding on to a narrow lead here, Matt.
Yeah, and Silly working on a 5 streak, has the Trinity Rockets working towards full streaks. And that would be huge. Going into drill, he's going to use the Trinity Rockets, going to get 1. Gunless coming around the outside. So we talked about Silly taking some pressure off the rest of his younger teammates, stepping up here early in our game number 4.
He's doing it. A 7 streak here. His teammates covering his back as well, and he's going to try and hold from the turbine spawn, but he gets the call off. His teammates are getting tagged up from behind. Will he get a fortunate timing? Looks like he'll be shot from behind, so the streak will end there, but you still have Arcides as well on a 4 streak. He's 13-7. He will drop. OpTic able to take out everybody, but some damage was done there, right? eUnited was able to extend that lead in a big way.
Dan Silly uses another streak here. He's going to be able to take out Scump, but he kills a teammate in the process. So playing pretty hard for these last 30 seconds or so of drill. eUnited trying to go up a little bit more than 50 here. They're going to have a 40-point lead. And it's dwindling down as OpTic's taking the rest of this time here on Drill. Going back to the center hardpoint, though, eUnited with a very good first half.
You still have, I believe, the Scorchers available, but yeah, that's a dream first half for you if you're eUnited trying to push this to the Game 5. I'm sure the deeper this goes, the more viewers are coming in. If you're just joining us, this is our second best of 5. Winner takes the whole tournament and their chunk of the $200,000 on the line for the CWL Atlanta Open. And there's so much on the line here. Pro points leading into the Global Pro League. Champs later in the year. Pro points more important than ever. And this has been insane to see how high eUnited's left in the standings, right? Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they have gone, winning a lot of, making it to the finals of a lot of the 2Ks. With a great performance here, they have climbed the pro point ladder. And you will see OpTic Gaming taking a lot of time in the center hard point, but just focus on the top of that mini-map. You're going to have to see players from eUnited work all the way through that center hard point to Turbine. OpTic's there, set up already. This is going to be a big break if eUnited's going to do it. And look where Scump spawned on the minimap. You see that 3. He's actually going to be in a good position, probably to flank here. We'll see if he can get in behind a couple. We switch to him. Shots in both. He gets the 2 assists. He actually, that's the reason that the Scarab probably picks up both kills for Formal, because he gets a couple bullets in there around the edge. That is huge there. Formal with a double kill with the Scarab. The Hill still in control to OpTic Gaming. It seems like here come the Scorchers for Silly. Not going to get anything, so they burn through all the streaks. The team kill for eUnited on the push. Silly falls off the map, but Gunless with a huge 2-piece gets a break there with 30 seconds left. How do you get that break? Oh, you cannot body stack like that if you're OpTic Gaming. He fires a few bullets straight through 2 players. Takes both of them out, and it's going to be good for the last 30 seconds on the Hill. Let's switch over to Gunless, because he has a 6 streak right now. He's 18 and 11. Gunless has just been destroying through this one. He's going to be racking up the remaining time here, so we'll actually hop back off. But I want to get back to him as soon as he gets into the fight, because I want to show the crazy streak that he's on. So we had, what, a 7 streak for Silly, a 6 streak now for Gunless, and now Gunless is going to start to get in the action. He's going to have to push across either Skybridge or the outer wall run. Looks like he wants to hit the wall run here and try and get the break. Can he find the opening kill? He sees him, but he drops. He's already been fully streaked out, but it's going to drop there. If Arcedy's in them to get the break, is this maybe a good time to pop the Centurion? You would think so. A nice kill there. Double from Arcedy's. He's going to have one more player in the back. Nice shots there on Crim. Locking this down for eUnited. OpTic Gaming, they've been getting to these hills early, Maven, but eUnited's been breaking it with about 30 seconds left. They're not making up any time in the overall score. Arcedy's holding strong inside. Another melee comes through. Shots a little bit off. Can't swivel it on par. You see Gunless very close to that camo. Karma on the other side already has his to work with. And OpTic will be able to pick up the final 10 seconds. Yeah, and it's big. We know we talked about when Silly burns through all his streaks, does not have those for Drill. Well, now Gunless, he has full streaks. So you have those at your disposal for eUnited, plus abilities towards the second half of this game. They just need to play smart Call of Duty to close it out. This is looking like a Game 5 if eUnited can close it out with the final 70 points, but it's going to be Scump of OpTic. Pushing in here at Drill, has 1 outside of Drill control, can't win it. Look at the kill feed, that's 3 coming in, and it's a streak for Arcedy's. He's got 3 in a row. Let's switch over to his POV, he's plus 10 as well. Another one wrapping the edge, has him tagged up and goes ahead and pushes. How many streaks have we seen come out at United? I don't know, but I feel like Arcedy, some nice shots there on Crim yet again. 30 and 18 on a 5 streak. In the respawn game modes, we've talked a lot about, Silly and Gunless and the flashy plays they make. Arcedy's almost always plays well in the respawn game modes. You see just accurate shooting, some fantastic movement on a 6 streak of his own, as a lot of Drill goes to eUnited. I thought he'd have another around the edge. He was so close to picking up Trinity Rockets and bombardment, but can't get it done. Now look at the top of the map. Everyone just spawned at Turbine here. 4 eUnited. Fine, you have streaks to break this. They're trying to break it through. Okay, the streaks will get it done. What else do you have remaining here? Just the bombardment? So you have full streaks, I believe, on Gunless still. He uses 1 there, so you probably only have 1 more left. And then you do have the camo as well on Gunless. Did Silly use his Scorchers? Yes, he did. Yes. Okay. All right, the FTL jump across. Fancy footwork, but not able to close it out as OpTic continues to rack up time. But Pristini tries to shut it down, catches a fastball to the face there as Formal tags him with the grenade. And there's the bombardment we were talking about. The laser shots coming in from Gunless as well. You're at 2:25. You've got Camo, you've got bombardment. Matt, what's going on?
They should play for the rest of this time. You just look at the overall clock. They can get this to 2:45, 1:58 game. And I think if you can just force out the game and keep coming, you send one player on the overextension, you get control for that turbine, you win the game there.
Well, can they get somebody through is the question. It looks like it is going to be OpTic Gaming that's going to be set up very nicely. They've pushed out. They've got one of the hard point. And what do you have?
You got to get a good use of this
Krem,
camo.
Okay, Krem using the Centurion as well. But yeah, this camo is going to be crucial. Let's see how Gunless can make the play. Here goes the camo. Trying to push across. He's getting tagged up from behind, but he's able to slip in from behind. The pre-fire at the door. It does nothing. That's 2 down for eUnited. OpTic trying to mount the comeback. Still trailing by 50, but there's 40 seconds remaining here. This is going to be a ball game.
Yeah, if you lose this eUnited, you need to rotate over towards Hangar. You cannot afford to lose that rotation battle. I think...
Uh-oh.
Oh, so we're going to use streaks here. Gunless gets one with it.
Just Karma, and Crimsix stays alive, but the push does come through. Can they get the break? You still have Scump playing in the back. He's got reactive to work with, but he does ultimately drop. Formal goes down as well, and you're going to get 12 seconds here. This is going to put you at 246.
Not enough to win it. You're going to be about 4 points shy.
But look where they are. They're already set up in Hangar as well. You got to get a perfect break here. Scump's reactive armor is going to be huge. I think you've got to use it to get in. He just goes ahead and pops it. He's going to try to find the kills. His buddy dies in front, tries to get through. They're able to get the break, and now you need a perfect hold. 55 seconds. eUnited has 244. We've seen perfect holds here before. Can OpTic do it and close it out here?
eUnited, I think, you got to slow down a little bit and get
Silly.
2 really good breaks. Silly's going to get 1. Karma and Crimsix with a kill apiece. There's 1 more player left. It's Silly. He's waiting outside of the hill. I like this play. He's going to wait for his teammates to get back, try and get 1 more good attempt.
Krim just trying to play his life in the corner. Can he get his health back? Backing away. They're pushing him close. The battle is frantic, but they're not able to win it. Formal uses the overdrive to get back into the action. Now it's just going to be Karma and Scump trying to hold on. Make it just Karma spins. There, it might be. Nope, they're spawning close. They're able to fight back in. You haven't closed it out yet if you're eUnited. Can they win these key gunfights? He able to do it. It's Pristini. Are we going to get a game 5? It's 2:49. They're in. OpTic keeps trying to battle. Somehow they hold on, but the final tick is there. The final drill hard point is it. Baby, we're going to game 5.
For a while there, I was like, oh, man. OpTic Gaming is storming back.
It's going to end.
But you know what? eUnited, they don't get a really good clean break there, but they do just enough trading to contest the hill long enough that even if they don't really win that, you're looking at a tie game going into drill, and they have that rotational advantage. They're there first. You think they probably get the first 10 seconds there, and still way too close for my liking, man. Crazy. Are you going to live through this one?
I am. I'm having fun. But this is game 5, man. This is what it's all about. But let's take a look at the replays here from what was a fast-paced and crazy scorch hard point.
And 2 players we talked about, Silly and Gunless going in. Silly goes 30 and 29, a minute in the hill. It was really Arcides the one that stepped up. 35 and 29, a minute plus for everybody on the side of eUnited. When you look on the side of OpTic, there was nobody who really stood out and played poorly. It was just a very well-balanced game from eUnited.
I mentioned it before that started. This is not their favorite hardpoint map, not by a mile. I've seen them lose this several times this weekend. They pulled out some victories as well, but they get shut down ultimately. It was a valiant effort to come back in the end, but they couldn't do it, Matt.
And it wasn't even the abilities that really hurt OpTic. I mean, we jumped on with Gunless, thought he could make a big play of camo. Doesn't happen. The FTL jump of Silly doesn't get anything. It was the streaks they gave up early. That's really what hurt OpTic. They gave up the full streaks to Silly and the full streaks to Gunless. When you take a look at some of the stats, Gunless, 28 kills, 1.12 KD, played very well, and then obviously Krim on the other side.
Well, you've heard a lot from us, but to break down the stats and hype us up before what is sure to be one of the best game 5s in the history of Call of Duty, let's throw it over to Ben at the studio.
Very much, Maven. I can tell you, we have not been sat down. We've been on our feet ourselves. We've been feeling the emotion of this grand final, and there's been a ton of different emotions. I mean, we'll talk about the second set a little bit. Chance, I want you to start game 1. Break it down.
What happened in game 1? I can't remember.
See,
I really can't remember. I'm still focused on the last game of Scorch. It's too
nuts,
intense.
Dude. It's been unbelievably intense. It really has. In all seriousness, though, map number 2, I think, is where we all kind of looked at each other and said, okay, that's it. It's done, right? a 5-2 lead. I feel like this is like the third, maybe even fourth time we've seen a 5-2 lead thrown here at CWO Atlanta. Me and you, team, we were in disbelief.
Unacceptable is the simplest way to put it. When you're up 5-2 like that, they threw away those 2 rounds leading up till 5-4 so darn fast that you need to slow it down. Everything you were doing before was working out just fine, but that's the moment where OpTic is the one that has to make those, you know, sort of drastic decisions, right? They have to throw their bodies on the line and take more risks than you do. They didn't slow it down. There was one round where Crim just simply pre-fired through a hallway and got a kill. It's just things like that that are unacceptable. You have to slow it down and put yourself in better position.
There's that moment. There's the moment, the FTL jump. It was beautiful, but milliseconds away from clutching. And then right now, we would have a champion. eUnited would have won this event if that FTL jump is half a second. Then you consider the fact that you weren't able to get camo in 3 rounds as well, TP. This was a drastic meltdown.
The biggest what if of the tournament so far, I think, is Fastball in the 1v1 against Karma. What if he turns the other direction and Karma doesn't get it? Because that allowed for OpTic Gaming to go on this massive run. The next biggest what if Silly doesn't bump into that wall with the FTL? What if the angle is just ever so slightly better? If like it would have been one of the greatest plays in Call of Duty history. You'd have to imagine, because the way this series is panned out, that could have won them the tournament.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And you know, you see the end of that section of store, we all looked at each other, and I think every single one of us agreed the next map number 3, was going OpTic Gaming. There was no doubt about it, right? The crowd started a choke chant. I mean, if you're United, you're sat there with your headset on thinking, how do we recover from that? But Momo, OpTic Gaming, they did just that, right? They took that map very, very convincingly.
I'm not surprised. At OpTic Gaming, they were 5-2 down, and we had like looked at each other, and we were all thinking the same thing. We didn't even need to say anything. We didn't need to say anything. We're like, don't rule OpTic Gaming out of this just yet.
Right.
It should have been over. Don't get me wrong. It should have been. But OpTic Gaming, once again, they come up clutch. Time and time again, people, you know, all over social media, they're saying, you know what, they should have finished top 12. They should have finished this. Panda should have knocked them out. But no, they're here in the grand final. They're clutching up time and time again. But yeah, you're right. Going into that next map, I was frustrated. I was very annoyed. And I was kind of saying, no, eUnited fight. And you were laughing at me. You go, it's over. This uplink is over. And you were right. It went in too quick. eUnited couldn't bounce back. But
you have to give him some serious props. I really do, because I think me and you, T, we were both kind of on the same page where we thought, this grand final's done. It's over. This is OpTic Gaming for the taking. But somehow, someway, eUnited fought back in that hard point. And now we're going to a game 5. I mean, if you want to talk briefly about that game 4, though.
In situations like that where you're falling behind, you're not feeling too good, you need someone to spark. And who was the spark on that Scorch? Definitely Arcides. The man was lighting it up completely. You wrote his name down on a card.
That was my notes. It literally just says Arcides. That's literally it.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
That's the sort of plays that you need in order to establish a solid lead. They were able to do that. I think it was like 190 to about 120 at one point. And then talking about Chance, you made some good points about Silly. Well, you can touch on that.
The first go around on the hangar hardpoint, OpTic Gaming had the full setup. Silly actually gets all 4 kills by himself. He comes on the flank, is able to kill 2 while hanging around the wall run area, and just continues through and bowls them over. Obviously, he had a lot of teammate support throughout that entire thing, but the first time, he picks up 4. The second go around, same thing. He's the one that gets his spawns for his team after OpTic Gaming, again, out-rotates them, and eventually they're able to break through. And then on the last go around, where they just needed 1 point constantly, it was Silly, the player. He was by himself. He was able to get in the hill and just hold him off for just enough time to let his team get back in the kill for support, and again, stop OpTic Gaming from shutting them down there.
Well, our grand final starting to heat up. OpTic Gaming versus eUnited, second set, tied up 2-2. We're going to a game 5. Matt, Maven, over to you.
Thank you, guys. And, you know, crowd, put your hands together. Ben, the desk have been incredible all weekend long. They've been crushing it. They've been looking into different matches. They've been doing fantastic analysis of the maps. And now we have the game 5 we all wanted. Whew.
Yeah, the studio's been awesome all weekend. The games have been incredible today. It's only fitting we end with a game 5 here in our second set. What are you doing?
Get over here.
Stop.
Just give me
Stop.
That wasn't awkward at all.
No, no.
You wanted it secretly.
No, not at all. Anyway.
I'm pumped, man. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good one. eUnited in the search and destroys we've seen against OpTic Gaming. They've gone up early, just not able to hold on and win them. OpTic Gaming is just always stormed back into these games.
Who are you taking? I'm putting you on the spot here. It's not an easy choice, man.
It's not easy because, like I just said, eUnited, they've gone up. And a lot of these S&Ds, they've kind of given them away.
What was it?
OpTic Gaming,
5, right?
Yeah, OpTic Gaming, they've been so strong in S&D all weekend. They have the experience. Oh, it's a tough one. It's like
you don't have to choose if you don't want to.
No, I do. I don't want to do like Momo or Rel and not choose. You have to decide.
That was Golden Boy's favorite thing back in the day.
Yeah, not make a decision.
Oh, I sort of like this team, and I also kind of like this team. I'm Golden Boy.
My gut says eUnited, but I feel OpTic. I'm going to go with OpTic.
All right, you hear it there. Crowd, make some noise. Game 5. And who else but Formal with the sniper. Splits a couple there mid-map. But if he can get it going with that, he has had some of the most ridiculous shots, but he seems a little bit off right now, right? Those are 2 shots he could very well hit.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't really see a ton of sniper play. Obviously, the top snipers are always going to pull it out. But I have not seen great sniper play. And just like that, eUnited wipes the board. Woo. Silly with 2, Pristini with 2. It's a very fast round number 1.
Yeah, it certainly was. You don't find any kill. Oh, God!
Like, I can hit left D-pad right back.
Oh, the salutes have just been rude.
Sure.
It's disrespectful.
Well, these two teams...
Karma did it first.
Yeah, but these two teams, I mean, they scrim all the time. We talked a little bit about, Silly and Formal. This is like an under-the-radar kind of heated rivalry between these two.
I love it. Round 2. It's going to be our cities now. Oh, he hits the shot. Scump, we'll see you later in round 3, buddy. And they just smoked them. There's not a single kill coming in for OpTic until Formal finally finds something, and he's gone. 2-0 eUnited.
That shot was nuts. RC.
I just picked Scump just puts his controller down. He's like, all right.
I'm dead.
Okay.
And what I've liked from eUnited in these first 2 rounds, Maeve, is just how aggressive they've been. I think one of the guys on the studio desk, they talked a little bit about if you're going to go down, play your game. They're definitely doing it in Game 5.
They are, and a guy we haven't talked a lot about throughout Friday, Saturday, Silly, has a... Ooh! Where's that bullet go? A hit marker on what appeared to be a neck. Don't jump up there and challenge him. Varsity's on fire. Formal's gone. Formal, the only one with the kill right now, but Silly, man, 4-0. He has the monster game. Crim6 is Mr. Game 5, right? He has got to pick it up. An ugly gunfight comes through, and now it's Crim in a 1v3. They're giving an early lead to eUnited, and the comeback kids are going to have to battle back yet again.
I mean, this is kind of how these other Search and Destroys played out. eUnited comes out on fire, takes the first few rounds. OpTic Gaming makes a comeback. See Pristini here in the final kill cam. Takes Crim out. OpTic Gaming, I believe, we'll take a look at the scoreboard once we jump back into this. I think only 2 of their players have kills right now. You got Formal with 1, Crim with 1. It has not been a good first few rounds. I mean, Gunless is 0-0 through 3 rounds that his team's won. That's quite an odd stat line. It's Pristini, Silly, who have led the way. Arcities with some nice snipes as well. Scump draws first blood here in this round, though.
Well, that's a start. You find 1 first blood, but there the FTL jump to get away. You like Silly playing his life. Pristini able to back one up and push through. It's Silly. If he doesn't stay alive there with the FTL jump, maybe he doesn't find that second kill. And now it's Karma trying to clutch again. They're getting stormed off the map. What are we watching?
I have really liked the way that Silly has used FTL jump throughout this event. A lot of players I don't feel like have used it, to its fullest potential. Silly, you see him use it in multiple different situations. Get out of harm's way. Get a little bit closer to try and pick up a kill on a guy that's weak. You see it right there. He uses it to get out of dodge, keeps his streak alive. 4-0.
How many
in favor of eUnited here in Game 5?
How many punches can you take in S&D as OpTic Gaming that you rebound from? How many times can you force a choke out of a team and come up clutch?
And in this type of situation, Maeve, I played way back. As you see, Gunless is going to get 2 kills here at the beginning. It's going to be OpTic Gaming trading it out real fast.
1v1. 1v1. He has to reload. He's got him tagged up. Looking to push him. We saw him in the corner underneath. He's hit with a jammer. Can he win it? Oh! He gets it barely. That's how you get 1 round. All right. God.
Dude. Formal is just ice cold, man. I mean, that is a gunfight that not many players win. In that type
of
the
jammer, I thought he was fine until that happened.
That type of pressure situation too. With the eUnited goes up 5-0. And I can imagine you can look up the stats on that. There's a high chance they win this one. Formal keeping them alive.
I think they see two hit the cross. They're able to get in behind. Now you have to be worried about every side of the map if you're OpTic Gaming. But Scump chases, Scump follows, finds the kill. That's back-to-back first bloods, but they know there's one more in behind. They should have seen two cross. They've got to be hunting for Pristini right now. Here's the man himself. They know he's behind. He's going to find one. Formal able to snap and find the kill. Now it's going to be 2v3. Silly turns it into a 2v2. Karma and Krim. First Gunless and Silly. Silly starting to work his way up. He can't win it. It's now just Gunless. He's been a legend all day long, but Crimsix does it.
2 straight rounds for OpTic Gaming.
Woo! I don't know what he's doing with his hand there. It is funky as hell.
Yeah, Krim always does that. It's kind of freaky, but Formal's round where he wins that 1v1 against Arcades. They come back. That is the catalyst here. It's going to be Scump also drawing first blood. 2 straight rounds here. The eUnited, though, they were in still a very good spot, Maeve. 4-2 up. Obviously in a great spot with the round advantage, and they do have Pristini with this reactive armor. Maybe you use it this round, just kind of put yourself only 1 round away.
Sometimes it's like, of the camo and reactive players, who has a bigger start on either team, right? You give yourself a chance to use it a little bit earlier. Pristini does already have it available, but it's another first blood. That's 3 in a row. Scump able to find it with the grenade. Does Pristini consider using this here? Likely going to save it for a further round, but he's going to go ahead and push in. Not able to find the kill. Krim is a god. Finds 2 inside, and now it's on Silly. You've been playing like a monster, but you're pinned like a rat, and down he goes.
And you can kind of feel the momentum in the room just kind of swaying now towards OpTic, and you needed to figure out a way to kind of turn the tides in your favor for eUnited. The one way you could do that is with that reactive armor. You have to use it. You have to get something for it. And look, I mean, you get to that 5th round, even if it goes a little bit longer than that, you're hoping you see an active camo use from Gunless. I think that's what you got to play for here.
Remember what he did last time. Arcades caught Scump on the cross. Not able to find the shot this time, but very passive defense. Coming in from OpTic Gaming as things begin to slow down a little bit here in round 8. Basically a headshot with a Scarab, but Pristini will live through. There's a reactive armor. Burns him around the edge.
And he uses it in this round, so it's crucial that eUnited wins this. You cannot use this ability and lose the round. They have to put this round away. 2 kills for Pristini.
He finds the second. It's now just on Karma and Krim. This should be the 5th round for eUnited. He's able to take out Pristini, but he's the last man up. He's got camo to work with this. Somehow he turns this in his favor. Now it's a 1v2. 15 seconds left. They're pushing him. He's down. eUnited 1 round away from being crowned your champions.
And when you use the reactive, you got to get the win. They use reactive armor. Pristini comes up with 3 straight kills. You have some house money to play with here with Maven. You're up 5-3 rounds. You can afford on the defensive end to get a little bit aggressive here. If I'm on eUnited, that's kind of what I'm teeing up here. Okay, I think you catch OpTic off guard. Obviously, they may play a little bit passive, but I would love to see an aggressive defensive push here from eUnited.
Karma does have this camo, though. Maybe he'll be the one to make a play. They're getting aggressive, just like you talked about. You see Gunless on the map, trying to be the one to come through. He gets caught. That's a first blood for OpTic Gaming. And now you can start to mount the attack. You see the mid-map presence you have here from eUnited trying to push forward. It's like they were ready for the aggression, man. They waited for it. They baited it out. eUnited does get a little bit cheeky sometimes on the defensive.
You needed to go together, though. I meant like a 4-hit straight through B. That's the type of aggression I would like to see. Arcades picks up 1. Pristini with another. Silly in a perfect position here. 1 more player alive.
It's done just like that. You see the disappointment on the faces of OpTic. And look at the hype from eUnited. eUnited are going to be your CWL Atlanta Open champions. The disappointment you see there on the face of Crimsix. You fought so hard. We know what a loss that is, but you have to focus on the champions. There they are. Look at the squad. eUnited proved all the doubters wrong, Matt.
And this is a team you got to feel good for. I mean, they put in a ton of time grinding throughout all the 2Ks, you know, battling against the top. A lot of non-believers of this team coming into the event. They show up in a big way, prove everybody wrong.
You survived every single punch that OpTic Gaming could throw at you.
Not just OpTic Gaming, I mean, throughout the tournament. I mean, you beat Envy, you beat FaZe, you beat OpTic, you got through Splice. A very impressive run.
It's a beautiful moment for these guys as they enjoy the trophy. But on the floor, we've got Jack Courage Dunlop to chat with the guys.
What a grand final we just saw. eUnited are your CWL Atlanta Open champions. What a victory there. Congratulations, gentlemen. From start to finish, an electric performance. It got a little scary there. And first, I want to begin down on this end. What are the emotions feeling like right now? Major title for you all. You've got to feel like you're on cloud nine.
Oh man, it feels good because these fans are ridiculous. They got to, I don't know, they got to chill mid-game, man. It's just pissing me off, and it lights the fire in all of us, so it's not helping them.
Wow, you're saying the fans cheering gets you guys fired up as well. Arcitys, an incredible weekend for you guys. Now you come out as champions. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys said to each other going into that second best of 5 to make that possible.
We just had to play our own game and not theirs.
Well, it's easy as that. Play your own game. Silly, get over here. Come on, get over here, Silly. You're the big leader of this squad. You wind up taking home this title. This has been a long time coming for you. What is it about these guys that just work so well on this team?
I mean, they're good listeners. They stay composed, and that's all you need to do to win.
Now, Burns, I want you over here as well, my friend. Burns, long-time involvement in Call of Duty, now co-general manager of this eUnited organization. A lot of people were wondering what you were doing when picking up this squad. You had a vision. Now it shows. How proud are you of these boys? What a moment for your organization.
Besides me getting a little emotional, I'm really proud of these guys. I guess I couldn't find a championship as a player, but I can find it as a manager, and these guys helped me accomplish that goal, so I'm really proud of them.
Awesome to see. Now, everybody knows that a major championship title has an MVP on the lineup, someone that just goes absolutely off, goes above and beyond what it means to be a champion. And guess what? We have our Control Freak MVP. It is Gunless. Woo! Hoist up that trophy, my friend. You've earned it. The Control Freak MVP for someone that goes above and beyond. Again, eUnited, congratulations. All the doubters, I can promise they've been silenced now. We've got a new champion on top. Benson, take it away.
What a grand final that was. Of course, congratulations to eUnited. We will see them in a press conference coming up shortly. I know Courage and the eUnited squad are going to get ready for that, so make sure you're tweeting out any questions you have for the eUnited squad. That will be live on stream. MVP, the Control Freak MVP, of course, massive congrats to Gunless, but I think we all kind of looked at each other there and said, any one of them could have just taken that. I mean, you could make an argument for all of them, right, team?
Oh, 100%. Persini had so many moments where I was so impressed with